Yo, welcome to the Morbid Hour. Happy Friday the 13th. Hello, Amber. Hello, Jackson Knight. Thank you for joining me here on the Horror Metal channel. Just going to go and send the link to the guys, and then we'll go and get started. That's right. This could be the Friday the 13th special, all about the Jason franchise. All right, just sending the link. Just waiting for Sean Erschen and HorrorFan88. Yep. Good talk all about the Jason movies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched a little bit of parts 4, 6, 7, and 8, and the first one came on earlier, and I watched like the beginning of it. Right now, part 6 is on. Jason Lives. They just defeated Jason by chaining him at the bottom of the lake. So yeah, AMC and then I think another channel will have a little Friday 13th marathon. Pretty cool. Yeah, all about Friday 13th. We're going to talk about all the movies in the series, all 12 of them. Oh, yeah.
Might as well join the party.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, guys?
Good old Friday the 13th.
Indeed. Yeah, I gotta make this the new thumbnail.
Oh.
You guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Hello?
I can hear you.
You hear me all right?
Yep.
Okay. Don't think I'll be able to wear this too long.
Yeah, it's starting to kind of hurt my face.
Ooh, yours is signed, huh?
Oh, yeah. Kane Hodder.
Nice.
Oh, nice. That's really cool.
Oh, we got people in chat already.
Yep.
Oh, we're live.
Amber and Jackson Knight and Mr. Dan is in the chat.
What's up,
How's everybody
Mr.
doing
Dan?
tonight?
Happy Friday the 13th, everyone.
Yeah,
Oh,
happy
the original
Friday
13th is
13th.
coming on. Yeah. The first one's coming on AMC.
Nice.
Nice.
I got on I put the, 8 movie DVD collection or whatever.
Yeah.
I was watching part 6.
Yeah, I just watched that. Yeah, it's the one that just ended, just went off. I agree, Jackson. Jason Goes to Hell is underrated. There's a lot of things I like about it. It's flawed. It's got huge problems for sure, but I still enjoy it. There's not an entry in the series that I downright hate, in fact. I know some are weaker than others, but I actually like them all. I find something to enjoy in all of them. It's my favorite franchise.
I have 2 things to say about this franchise. One, I actually have 2 personal favorites that we'll get to later on. And 2, I'm going to have to agree with you. I don't hate a single entry in this franchise at all. I just love them all.
I wish I could agree with you.
Yeah.
There's a couple I hate.
Because I feel like these movies weren't like Shakespeare in the first place, so like I don't think it's the standards aren't really that high. It's not like it's
Still,
Matt Hale's in the chat.
What's that?
Amber, my favorite is probably the final chapter.
There's still definitely some really good ones.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Good old Jason.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I probably should have grabbed the Part 7 figure. That's my favorite Jason look.
Yeah, that is a really nice figure.
Figure the final chapter is my favorite movie, so I grabbed the Ted White Jason.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll go through each entry in order, and then we'll talk about. I was thinking about just talking about our favorite kill from each movie, like as we go. Like,
Sweating.
at the end. We talk about our favorite final girls and stuff like that too.
Nice. Can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Definitely one of my favorite franchises. I can't lie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I watched them regularly, a few of them, my favorite ones anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Friday the 13th.
No.
Right. Yeah, I like this little marathon that's going on AMC, and there's another channel that's showing a bunch of them too.
What's funny is I just got the Paramount Network, and about 2 weeks ago, they were all on there. Now they're gone.
Really? That's lame.
They're Paramount movies. They were made by Paramount. The first few, anyway.
That's lame.
That would be easy to just, put it on the stream or whatever.
Yeah, true.
Past 2 days, I've been marathoning the whole franchise. Just had such a blast with it. I'm just like, I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure.
Loving your background there.
Oh yeah, Friday the 13th, everything.
Nice. I was, something funny too. I stopped at the gas station. Somebody pulled up blaring Black Sabbath. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm talking about that tonight." And I started putting
appropriate.
Like, you know what? I'm gonna play Black Sabbath.
That's perfect. Did Cunningham and Minor settle out of court? I'm not sure. Did you watch it, Amber? Was it good? Yeah, I thought they did, but I don't know. It's been stupid lawsuit things been going on for years. It's always seems like somebody always there's always another person wants a piece of the pie every time I look at it.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether they just came to an agreement or if one person got the rights. And
yeah.
It's a shame.
Indeed, because I would love for them to make another one, preferably set in winter time with snow on the ground and a frozen crystal lake. Maybe Jason stabs somebody with an icicle or something.
Blood on the white snow.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, they had to never hike in the snow.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. I want to see like an actual official,
Yeah, true.
movie.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll see if it has a future. We don't know. It's been a long time now.
Yeah,
2009.
Yeah, my gosh, I would love for Tommy Jarvis to return, either played by Corey Feldman or Tom Matthews.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Or how about the return of Ginny, Amy Steele?
That'd be cool too.
She's still
cool
alive.
if Tommy and Ginny returned.
Yeah, even better.
Yeah.
There you go, the box set.
Should we get started?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start with the original from 1980 that started it all. Friday the 13th, directed by Sean Cunningham.
Yeah. Classic.
Indeed.
Definitely the most, it could be argued, but I think this is without a doubt the most atmospheric and creepy one of the franchise. And the death scenes by, with Tom Savini's work, insane. And yeah, great film, great slasher film.
I agree. It is
Yeah, I think that in a lot of ways this might technically be the best. It's not really my personal favorite per se, but I do think it's like the most suspenseful and possibly the scariest.
Yeah.
And kind of most original.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. I think, in my opinion, the first two are actually scary, serious horror.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you get to like part 3, then it starts like the camp value kicks in,
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I totally agree with Horror Fan 88. The most atmospheric, especially that one scene when it's pouring rain outside, and you hear the little boy's voice, sort of.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
girl wakes up and she goes outside, and it's the light shining in her face.
Yeah, I love
That's creepy as hell.
I love the scenery.
Oh yeah.
Of the isolated. Yeah.
I would definitely live there. I love nature and the stuff that looks like that. So I'd probably live there.
Yeah, me too. I'd like to visit there someday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the whole feeling of isolation and seclusion, and plus, out of the all the originals and like the big four of slashers with Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Halloween. This is the only one that's like a whodunit. It's a mystery. You don't know who the killer is until, and they don't really even play fair with that either. They don't introduce Miss Voorhees like as a character. It's not like you can figure out, oh, it's probably her that did it. We don't see her until the very end, and then she pretty much immediately reveals that she's the killer.
That's one of the things I like about it.
Yeah, me too.
Is you don't know who it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very heavily inspired by Halloween for sure.
Definitely certainly the opening, when it's from the killer's perspective.
All the POV shots. Well, I think it's different enough. The setting, and whatnot. The fact that it's, like I said, I think it's a whodunit and stuff.
Right. And that's Halloween. We know who it is right away. The whole movie, we know who it is.
Yeah. But yeah, the Friday 13th movies were a little more about like the kills and like the body count, and they're a little more exploitative and like a little sleazier too. I think a little more trashy, but in a good way.
Yeah, that's true.
I love this movie. It's a classic, and like I said, it's not my personal favorite, but I do think in a lot of ways it is the most well done.
Another thing similar on Halloween, the way he sets up the bodies to like pop out, and like the body comes hanging from the roof, and like the way he sets things up for people to find them.
Yeah, there's a lot like that.
Yep, and the death scenes in this movie were done in a way where it actually felt serious, rather than some of the later entries where they're kind of jokes. Like in part 7 with the kazoo thing in the eye, and he goes, Yeah, these were insane.
Yeah, it's weird too, because usually the original movie in like these like slasher series doesn't always have like the best kills. But I think this one has some of the best kills in the whole series.
Oh, definitely.
Of course, the axe in the face, Marcy's face, and then the arrow through Kevin Bacon's neck, and even the beheading at the end. Yeah, it's really awesome kills. Like some of the
Tom
best.
Savini.
Yeah. 1, 2 is in the chat. We basically just started, man. You're not late.
Right on the original movie.
Yeah.
Getting back to that scene with the axe is one of my favorite scenes, too. That scene is creepy, the way they show.
Yeah.
She's talking to herself in the mirror, and then you see like the curtain slowly pull back on the hand, and like
the shadow on the wall.
Great stuff. I love this. There's actual suspense in this movie. You know?
Yeah, big time. The best in the series, I think. And the score is awesome too. I love the music.
Mm-hmm. Very man, Freddie. The axe in the face is actually my favorite death of the movie. The way it's just so deep in the side of her face is just so brutal.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
nasty.
It's a close one to that one and the arrow through the neck for me. I think the axe in the face always has kind of made more of an impact for me. Like when I was younger, when I was first watching these movies, it stayed with me a little more.
Oh yeah.
Another cool thing is how they kind of set up Annie in the beginning to be. You think she's gonna be like the main star,
Had a psycho thing going on.
Yeah.
We thought Janet Leigh was gonna be like the main character, the survivor, and they kind of did that with Annie. Alice, played by Adrienne King, isn't my favorite final girl in the series. I always just kind of, I don't know, I always just kind of found her kind of bland, but I do like how she fights back at the end, and she manages to be likable enough, and that was, it kind of had the Laurie Strode thing going on, where she was kind of like the goody, kind of the goody two shoes, like the good girl, and she wasn't doing all the bad stuff like the other counselors were doing, and so she survived, I guess.
For sure.
But still cool. And of course, Betsy Palmer is great as Pamela Gordon, Jason's mother, and interesting backstory.
I love it. I love her motivation.
Yeah, you kind of feel bad for her. It's you kind of sympathize with her a little bit, and understand her. Yeah, but the people she's killing obviously had nothing to do with it. Yeah, they probably weren't even born yet. It was back in '57 that he drowned, and they were probably like they're probably nowhere near the camp, and they're probably just young kids if they'd even been born yet.
What a great performance too! Like I love her performance.
Oh yeah, she's
scary
awesome.
as hell.
Yeah, get her, mommy. She's the highlight of the movie for me.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the most memorable performances in the franchise.
Absolutely.
The counselors weren't paying any attention.
Yeah. Look what you did to him.
This original is definitely one that I grew to love because, of course, as a kid, I wanted to see Jason. That's what I wanted to see, and he wasn't in it. But, of course, you get older and you start to appreciate it more and see more really good filmmaking in it, and it's very high up on the list now. So it's great.
I agree.
Yeah, of course, you gotta mention Kevin Bacon,
Yeah, a very early role.
One of his first roles, yeah.
James Moss is in the chat. How's it going, James? His name was Jason, and today is his birthday.
Love it. Why do you guys think this one, for a lot of people, it gets like low on the list when people have ranked the franchise? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, I noticed that too.
That is
because Jason's in it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's not the killer.
That's all he got.
That was one of the most effective jump scares ever, though. Jason popping up out the water at the end.
Oh man, I love that.
I wasn't expecting that. I guess they were inspired by Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite scenes in horror. Like, I just love the way that shot's filmed. Like, with the beautiful music, when she's like putting her hand in the water, everything's great, everything's beautiful. I survived, I made it.
Yeah, his face is like all like dirty and covered in seaweed and kind of rotted. That's cool. I always consider that real too. Like I know that everybody says it's a dream sequence, but like I always wanted that to be real because it's like my favorite part of the movie, and like how did Alice know that Jason was deformed? Miss Voorhees never said that, so that's one hell of a coincidence. And also, why they make such a big deal out of we didn't find any boy, and then he's still there. We see the ripple in the lake. Like, it was just some hallucination. Like, why would they have like made such a big deal out? Why would that have been such a so significant? And then later sequels straight up say that he definitely did drown, and that also that he did pull other people into the lake, like in part 8. So I think it's real. I know most.
I suppose it's kind of left to your imagination.
Yeah,
the way she's like you said, then he's still there. He's still there. What's up, Collector Man?
Collector Man's in the chat. How's it going? Amber actually wasn't Kevin's Bacon's first movie. He was in Animal House before.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and I think he was in like a couple others in like a really brief role. So he had done a couple movies before that. Yeah, how's it going, Collector Man? Good to see you. Yeah, the window scene in part 2. It's kind of a rehash of Final Jump Scare in part 1. We'll get to that.
I think one reason why people could get aggravated with slasher movies is because, like, Gab's like, she keeps knocking out Voorhees, which doesn't fit her. But at the same time, you got to think what's going on in her head. Like, she just found all these people dead. This woman comes out of nowhere. Her mind is probably just frying right now. So her instinct is going to be to try and knock her out and run. But,
yeah, but her presence, the way she carries herself, is like a nice old lady. She gives that sense of like calm, like, oh, she's just a nice old lady.
I think explaining everything, like, was kind of Miss Voorhees. It's kind of a mistake because it kind of allowed Alice to get the better of her, because most of the other victims, she's kind of snuck up on them, but with Alice, she had plenty of time to like arm herself and like get away.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe she sees something in Alice that she's a good girl, not like the others. It's like the old virgin thing,
Right.
She's the good girl. She wasn't fornicating with the
yeah.
That is an element in the franchise, You can't deny that.
Right.
And that's a big problem she had with they were making love while that young boy drowned, like they said in the chat.
Yeah, so now she just hates, teenagers who just smoke pot and fornicate and just, party and stuff, and they should be doing their job. So, to punish all of them.
Yep. And of course, this film started the trope in the franchise. Everyone needs to stay the hell away from windows because either somebody's coming in them,
somebody coming through.
Yeah.
Or Jason's coming through the window.
Yeah. Yeah, Judas Priest in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah. Finally, they killed it when I saw them in concert a couple months ago. Queensryche opened for them. Oh, it was sick. I can't wait to see Megadeth and Iron Maiden later this year.
Nice.
Yeah, I got my tickets already. I'm psyched.
Well, yeah, me too, Collector Man.
I agree with that. This is my favorite part. As soon as Miss Voorhees shows up, I think that's the best part of the movie. Mm-hmm. Very riveting climax and thrilling finale for sure.
Mm-hmm. She can sure switch to the crazy side very well because when she shows up, she's so comfortable. Hi, Miss Voorhees, an old friend of the Christies, and then all of a sudden she's a psycho.
Run. Yeah.
But talk about owning a role like when she only has 15 minutes,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jose Gomez in the chat. How's it going?
Of course, she had to mention the amazing score by Henry Manfredini.
Yes, the soundtrack is awesome.
Debut.
Yeah, the music is amazing. It's perfect.
Hell yeah. Iconic.
Yes, I think he would. I think Jason would go after Leatherface if Leatherface lit up a joint.
Probably doesn't matter what you do when Jason's around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he'll just go after anybody, Because he's not going to know who's a virgin and who's not, and just because he'll go after anybody.
Yeah, it's not the same as Miss Voorhees. I don't think,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're breathing pretty much.
Yeah.
But Jason, played by Ari Lehman in this film, did a legendary thing for one scene, just jumping out of the.
Yeah.
True. He'll always be the first Jason.
Yeah. He did a lot more as Jason than Tony Moran did as Michael Myers, Tony Moran just pulled the mask back over his head. Ari Lehman actually had to undergo all that makeup work. He had to sit there for hours while they applied the makeup and then be in the free. Apparently the water was cold. I think. Pretty sure I read that the water was really cold, and he had to stay under there for a while and jump out. So that definitely took a lot more effort than what Tony Moran did.
He's in those little flashback scenes when Miss Voorhees talking and you see him drowning in the lake.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. When I was a kid, I never even knew that Jason was deformed. Because I'd either watch him crappy VHS copy or just a crappy TV, and the flashback scenes you could hardly tell. Then when he comes to the water at the end, I thought he was just rotted because it was like a.
He thought it was just a bad tracking on the VCR.
I didn't know he was supposed to be deformed. Yeah.
I bet you probably have all the VHSs, right? The big clamshell case and the.
Yes.
I thought so.
I thought about taking him out for this video, but it was like, nah, just get the Blu-rays.
Laura Park Lincoln, yeah.
Yeah, she was cool. Tina in part 7. Carrie. The telekinetic powers. I like that concept. I like that they did something different. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, I thought it was something different. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll get to that.
Yeah.
It is a damn shame that in the 80s, you got almost a Friday almost every year for that decade. And it's been 13 years since we've even gotten it.
Yeah.
It just
and you know what else I was thinking is there was only one in the 90s.
Yeah.
Jason Goes to Hell. That was the only one.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was 83 and then 87 were the only 2 years in the 80s that didn't have a Friday movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 83 and 87, if I'm not mistaken.
Jason Takes the Nursing Home. Jason Takes Disneyland.
Yeah.
Now, were you guys upset that Tom Savini didn't return for part 2?
I never really noticed, until,
Yeah.
I mean, when I was watching these movies when I was a kid, I didn't really
Probably didn't even really know anything about it.
I knew that he turned down this to do the burning, and I feel like the kills in part 2 don't really compare to the kills in part 1. They feel a little more tame, but I guess that's because of MPAA bullcrap and all that.
Yeah. Especially
Michael
that,
McNally
the scene with the spear was heavily edited, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately. Are any closing thoughts about the original 1980 classic?
Believe it or not, it's my favorite.
The first one's your favorite? Cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, nothing wrong with that.
And I like that. I like that it's your favorite because it's such a surprise. You don't really hear a lot of people say part 1 is their favorite.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It was like boggles my mind, really.
Yeah. Like I said, I do think it's probably technically the best.
Nice.
You guys ready to talk about Friday the 13th Part 2?
Yeah.
Sequel from 1981, but it takes place 5 years later. Part 2, 3, and 4 all take place in 1984. Opens with Alice, of course, returning, played once again by Adrienne King. Jason somehow tracking her down, even calling her phone, apparently, and killing her, getting his revenge for her beheading his mom, which is pretty cool. I like the movie opens that way. I think that's awesome. Jason comes back and avenges his mother's death. That's cool. Because I thought that, when I first watched the movie, I thought maybe Alice was going to be, the main character again, but nope. She didn't last but 5 minutes.
Yep. 5 minutes, and half of that time was just a long prologue dream of what previously happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love part 2. This was always one of my personal favorites.
Oh yeah.
Of course, that damn cat jump scare. Count how many 80 movies randomly fly.
Yeah, they did that way too much. Obnoxious. But yeah, Jason. This is the first movie where he's the killer, and I think he was a lot more human this one. Of course, he didn't have the iconic hockey mask yet, and I kind of like the burlap sack. I like Baghead Jason. I think it's a cool look. He had the overalls. He was like a demented hillbilly mountain man. He had the long hair and the beard. Yeah. I think it was a cool look. That was a good look for a killer. Very similar to the Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Yeah.
I think in some ways, he might be. He was a pretty creepy Jason. I think Steve Daskowitz did a pretty good job. But he's not one of my favorite Jasons because, like I said, he's a lot more human and a little more vulnerable. And Ginny kind of kicked his butt throughout the most of the ends. But
absolutely,
still
it's
youngin',
crazy.
Yeah, he was still.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to think that one of the most popular killers in horror history didn't even get his classic look till the third movie.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. But like I said, I do kind of like the sackhead Jason.
Yeah.
Like you were saying there with Tony Moran, it's like the same kind of thing with Warrens and Gillette, right?
Yeah.
He gets the credit, and he
got all
only
the credit
in one scene.
I thought he was Jason, for the longest time until I found out.
I know. It was even in the big opening credit, right?
Yeah. Steve Dash and Warrington Gillette just played the unmasked Jason at the end with the long hair and the big old beard. I think that's real too. I don't think that was a dream sequence either, but I know I'm in the minority there. I know a lot of people disagree, but I think it was real. And as for Muffin, the dog that was killed and comes back, well, I can explain that too. Obviously, Muffin has the same powers as Jason to, constantly cheat and come back from the dead. I mean, I thought that was obvious, but Muffin Voorhees.
Yeah, again, this movie still has the tone of the original. I think it's very dark. It's scary.
Yeah, it's
the
pretty
great
creepy.
chase scenes are like really intense. And,
I do think that like out of all the sequels, this one does feel like the most kind of like a rehash of the first movie. I think the other sequels kind of tried to change it up just a little bit. This one just kind of feels like very similar to the first one. Though it does have a lot going for it, like I said. And this does have my favorite final girl of the entire series. Ginny Field played by Amy Steele, was great in this. I like her a lot better than Alice. She used her wit. She outsmarted Jason at the end. She fought back a lot. Yeah, she was just awesome. I really wish she would have returned for part 3. That'd have been great.
I know, right?
But yeah, she was great in this. She was also in April Fool's Day.
Yeah, another classic slasher.
Yeah. Shermalo Scott is in the chat.
Yeah, she's definitely my favorite. No contest for me.
Yeah, hands down. Always has been. Met Luke Skywalker. Pretty cool.
Like when they're at the bar and she's talking about, what if there really was a Jason,
Yeah.
Some kind of...
I like the whole urban legend aspect of it. It's like a kind of a boogeyman, kind of like a campfire story. This movie really seems to heavily imply that he never did drown in the lake, and like he just, I don't know, survived somehow and faked his death. Just been living in the woods. I never cared for that. I want to think that he drowned in the lake and then actually did come back, was resurrected somehow. But he was like very human in this one. He wasn't the unstoppable juggernaut.
Yeah, he seemed more human in this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still look at it. I mean, it's just my opinion, but I look at it as he was dead from the get-go when he drowned.
Yeah, me too.
He's just a dead guy walking around.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though he's not as unstoppable, but
right. Because he was always kind of a supernatural character. He survived things that no ordinary human could. Even before part 6, so
this is one of the entries in the franchise in which, my opinion, have great characters. Like, there's not really a character that I absolutely hate. I've always liked and felt bad for the character Mark, the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, I know.
That was brutal, dude.
That was a cool kill, though. That was a cool moment. But...
That's one of the best kills in the franchise.
Yeah, it is.
Great build up to.
Yeah.
The suspense.
The music and everything.
Like all you see is the back of his head looking, and then
I love the double impalement with the spear.
Oh
yeah, it's kind of like a reverse of what Miss Voorhees did. This time there's 2 people. It's very similar to Twitch of the Death Nerve.
Right. I didn't realize till I watched it. I was like, oh
yeah.
Friday the 13th certainly owes a lot to that movie.
Oh, definitely.
I believe I've said this before in like one of our earlier streams, but it's weird that this and another 1981 slasher movie, I don't know which one came out first, both of them have a final girl that hides under a bed with a rat, and the killer's in the room with a pitchfork. I'm talking about The Prowler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that weird? 1981 was the year of the slasher, and there's a lot of them have the kind of the same formula. I agree, Collector, man. Yeah, Ginny's my favorite too, and then I like the sackhead Jason. Jason was definitely very creepy in this movie.
That's a creepy look.
Yeah, it is. I like that. I like that appearance. I think it's cool.
I like that it has that. It gives it something different. You
yeah,
the sackhead Jason or hockey mask Jason,
right?
Uber Jason from the Jason X.
Yeah, he's had quite a lot of looks.
Yeah, that baghead look has always just creeped me out the way it looked.
Yeah.
He jumps from the bed and slowly stands up. That is just cool.
I love that part when when he goes through the window.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely very creepy.
This has the best chase scenes, I think, and the ending is amazing. Like with the the shrine with Pamela's head and the
I like how he carries Pamela's head around with him, and then like you said, have that shrine with all the dead bodies around it.
Mm-hmm.
You can even see Alice's body there.
Right. And the way she fools him, to think that she's his mother,
Yeah, she's her. I guess she was like a psychology major or something, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's why she was so obsessed with Jason in the first place. I think she liked to analyze, what he was like and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I like how they set that up earlier. He's like, "Why don't you use a little bit of that child psychology you learned?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure did. It worked very effectively.
Yeah, I guess a question that has been being asked for years: what happened to Paul?
I know, right?
I would love to know.
I know, right?
Somebody had a really interesting theory, and I don't think this was the case, obviously, but somebody said, what if Paul was in on it? What if he lured everybody there and led them to meet their demise?
And then...
I don't think that was the intention, but it was kind of interesting to think about. I guess Jason just told him, and I don't know.
There was a whole
return of Paul.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
A whole other theory that when these DVDs came out, the deluxe editions, an image on the back right there of Paul looking dead. We didn't see that in the movie.
Yeah.
Huh. Yes, he died.
That'd be cool if there was a deleted scene about it.
Mm-hmm.
Paul.
I mean, what happened when he came to the window? What happened after that?
Yeah, I think that was real. I don't think that was a dream sequence. When would she have time to take a nap after all that? I think that was real. But whatever. I know most people disagree.
You could almost coming that you're like, man, there's a big ass open window behind you. You might want to look out, and then jump down.
I thought another similar thing to Halloween 2 with the score where they kind of amped it up a little bit. They did the same thing with this. Is they added orchestra in the background, made more intense.
Yeah, definitely. There's a little more to it this time.
1981 was the year that both Michael and Jason put a hammer directly into someone's head.
Yeah, it was a cop or a security guard both times.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Like how he's camping out, he was living in that friggin' shack. How can anybody live in that?
Did he build that himself, or was it just a cabin that was not used anymore or part of one? Because it looked like,
but just looked like someone hammered pieces of random wood.
Exactly. Yeah, he was more like a deranged hermit, just living in the woods in this one. I think he was a little more of a realistic character in this one. It just seemed like somebody who could really exist.
Oh yeah, and what we actually forgot to mention for both of these movies, the Harbinger of Doom, Crazy Ralph. You're all
How could we forget?
It's not a death curse. You're all doomed.
And this one is I warned them all. They didn't believe me.
I love how
you have a Crazy Ralph type character too.
Yeah.
Too bad he got taken out.
Yeah, him and Alice are the only returning characters, and they both get killed off.
Yeah.
But it is kind of a old cliche of slashers, the old man trying to warn people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get the goofy guy in this one, just like you get the goofy guy in the first one, running around with the Indian headdress and the Actually, that guy lived. He was the smart one because he stayed in the bar.
Yeah, he never got killed. Yeah.
Good move, smart move.
Yeah. I like Jason's unmasked look with the long hair and the beard and
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Great makeup in that job in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. The Friday the 13th films have never been great with is continuity, because if that wasn't a dream, how did he go from long hair, beard to completely bald?
Completely bald and clean shaven.
Yeah.
Maybe in Jason's twisted mind, he thought, "Oh, they know what I look like now. I need to change my appearance. Now nobody will recognize me." Maybe he got a haircut and shaved. Interweb kaiju's in the chat.
No one's gonna notice my hockey mask. And
yeah.
Eddie in my hand and blood all over it.
That's a good point, Collector, man. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Yes, this is certainly my favorite sequel in the franchise. My personal favorite, easily.
Cool. Yeah, I always liked it a lot. Of course, you have the skinny dipping girl, Tara, played by Kirsten Baker, I think was her name. Lauren Marie Taylor. Yeah, they had good characters. I like the group of counselors. Some pretty good kills too. Like I said, the wheelchair, the Mark, the guy in the wheelchair, and then the spear, the double impalement, and the hammer, the hammer claw.
Stuff. But it had like I said, had that tone like the first movie.
Yeah,
darker and more serious.
Yeah, it's definitely the most similar to the first one.
But yeah,
Web Kaiju, what's up?
So when it comes to part 3, I like part 3 a lot, but I do have some picks with it. Like, the pacing is pretty slow at times. The acting in this movie is wow. Oscar-winning acting with this one.
Yeah.
Show you did.
There's quite a few insufferable characters.
Yep. But Jason got his hockey mask. This was the one.
That's right. This is one where Jason first got his iconic hockey mask. The look that he would use for the rest of the series. It's pretty cool.
Yep. And Richard Brooker was a beast in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, Richard Brooker was a great Jason, I thought. He was a lot more menacing and intimidating, I thought. Steve Datskowick's Jason was a little creepier, maybe. But I think that Richard Brooker was, far more...
he was like this fucking beast,
Yeah, he was huge. I love when he we first see him with the hockey mask and he shoots the girl in the eye of the harpoon and he just walks away. It's like, yeah, I'm Jason, That's his cool walk.
Oh, that's cool.
And of course, Shelley, played by Larry Zerner, the character responsible for Jason getting his hockey mask. It's actually one of my favorite characters in the series. A lot of people think he's annoying, but I think he's kind of funny. I had a lot of friends that were like him.
It's probably the only interesting character in this.
Yeah. I was never really a big fan of Chris Higgins, played by Dana Kimmel, who's the final girl in this one. I really would have wished I would have much rather Amy Steele return as Ginny.
Oh yeah, 100 times.
But and the fact she has like a history with Jason. Jason attacked her, and then I don't know. I guess they were trying to do something different, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back, guys.
The 3D, most home video versions now come with, the 3D glasses and yeah, it's really gimmicky, but it was kind of cool. I wish they would like release that in theaters again with the 3D. That'd be cool.
That was always kind of another negative. You watch it in 2D and everybody's like, "Can you hand me that?" Oh yeah, sure.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, things just coming at the camera for no reason.
But Jason, I think a lot of people, because they think of Jason being so slow and zombified, they forget he actually ran in 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, he ran a lot in 2 and 3. Yeah, he was. A lot of people. Yeah, people saying Jason does not run. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He runs in these movies.
Quite a bit. I think he made the most noise in the franchise in this one. Like when he gets stabbed, like, "Urgh!"
Yeah, all the grunts and stuff. Yeah, I thought Richard Brooker was a great Jason. He's probably my third favorite. He's definitely in the top 4.
He is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much the rest of the characters, other than really Shelley, I don't care about.
Yeah.
It honestly felt like this movie didn't have a plot. Like they were writing it as they were going.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, most of them were just kind of boring.
But I know we'll talk more about the kills when Sean gets back, but I have to mention the handstand split. Oh.
Ouch. Yeah, that, and then of course the harpoon in the eye, like I said, and then I would like the axe and the, it's kind of basic, but it's still cool. I think the best kill and well, it was kind of a cheesy effect with the head being crushed and the eyeball popping out. It looked a little weird, but it was a cool idea. I really like the hands-on kills. I like when Jason doesn't actually use a weapon, just uses his bare hands. I think that's always cool. He's using his brute strength. And this movie, was kind of the first to start doing that a lot.
You have a new Harbinger of Doom this time. The old man, like he told me to warn you.
Yeah, the eyeball.
Yeah.
But yeah, compared to the first two, this one's my least favorite, but I still really like it overall. I can still watch it and have fun.
Yeah, for me, it was definitely a big drop in quality, but it's just me. Like when you have the main girl, like, and you don't even care about her, and she's terrible. Like the acting, like you said, like you said, the acting was bad. Some of the worst.
Yeah, as far as final girls go, it was definitely a step down because Ginny was great, and but I feel like this one kind of came more into its own. It kind of felt like this is where the series became less of a Halloween knockoff and just kind of more of its own thing, which I like. I think it and I really like Richard Brooker's Jason. I think that was a step up.
But like the beginning is like an indication, like right away. Okay, now we're going into more camp territory.
Yeah,
with the score, the disco song,
the disco theme. It's definitely more a little like cheesier. Kind of reminds me of the Return of the Living Dead theme a little bit.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun, but
oh yeah.
But it sets the tone, like that this is not as serious as I mean, you got the silly stuff with the biker gang and the
yeah. Yeah, it's the first movie where I was like really rooting for Jason the whole way.
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But though he was a great Jason, though.
Richard Berger. Yeah, Richard Berger was awesome.
Like he was intimidating, posing.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some cool kills too, like the eye to the head, like when he crushes the guy's head.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was kind of a silly effect, but it was a cool idea.
Yeah, Yep. I mentioned the handstand slice. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's nasty.
That makes me cringe. Ouch.
Oh, you got these bikers in the movie that didn't really have a point to be in there at all.
Add to the body count.
Like I laugh every time at the ending of the movie where Jason's going for Chris, and then the biker pops out of nowhere. You think, oh, he's gonna save the day. Immediately dies, like half a second. Chops his hand off. He's like, ah!
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a distraction, I guess. That biker was he was the bouncer in Fright Night at the dance club scene.
Oh yeah. That's right, when Jerry grabs him and like snaps his neck.
Yeah.
Yep. Confronts Jerry Dandridge, say, man, you want chick, you go someplace else, and then get out of my face.
He couldn't handle Jerry Dandridge or Jason.
Nope.
But I can't get over the acting in this movie. Like, it almost seems like they're reading it off of someone holding a cue card. Like,
yeah.
It's true. What do you think? How they brought Miss Voorhees back in that little scene there on the lake?
Yeah, they were just trying to have another shocking ending where somebody pops out and grabs somebody, but yeah,
it's almost like they're trying to recreate the scene from the first movie.
Well, first of all, like, I mean, I think that one was definitely a dream sequence because, how would Ms. Voorhees that came back and her head's reattached? But then again, Chris didn't even know who Jason was. She never mentions him by name. They never mentioned Jason's name in this one, except for the footage from part 2 at the beginning. Nobody knows who Jason is in this one. They don't ever say his name. So she, didn't know. I mean, she knew the man who attacked her, but she didn't know his name was Jason. And I'm sure she sure as heck didn't know who his mother was. So I'm not sure how that happened. So maybe it was her ghost somehow, because she wouldn't have known who she was, and she wouldn't have known she wore a sweater and stuff. But she's got her head back, so she can't be a zombie. It's got to be her ghost, I guess. I don't know. I think they just ran out of ideas for the final jump scare.
There is something very effective about the end, though, because I know it's still a dream, but when she looks up in that window and you see Jason at it, just like scratching, you see that running towards you, I'd be scared. I'd be like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, that was cool. Get all excited and stuff.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, too bad that was just a dream, because, then at the end he was still in the shed with his mask on.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to see more of his unmasked face. I think that the unmasked Jason in part 3 looks the most like the grown-up version of the kid Jason from part 1.
Mm-hmm.
I love that scene. I love that scene when she's like, "You can't be alive," and he just like just flips his mask up.
The mask. It's like, oh, it's you.
That my favorite 3D shot in the movie, because I know there's many, would be Jason with the axe in his head and the way he's like, "Grr." That's just the icon.
Yeah. Someone goes through the window in this one too.
Yeah. Can't break tradition. Yeah, I think the movie's a lot of fun. Like I said, this is I think this is where the series really came into its own. Jason was more his own character and less a Michael Myers clone.
Yes, that's true. I just wish it had been like a little more serious,
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I wish that they had better characters. I wish Jenny would have returned.
Yeah. Sure.
When Chris survives at the end, she starts maniacally laughing. That reminds me a lot of Sally at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
They take her away like they're committed or something.
Yeah.
White coats come together.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts about
saying Michael Jackson? What is that?
So what? Oh yeah.
R.I.P. Michael Jackson.
I don't know. Are you guys ready to talk about my favorite entry in the series? Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And it was the final one. They never made another one after this, so.
Nope.
Yeah, I think that this is just like kind of a quintessential Jason movie to me. It's just kind of like the definitive installment in the series. Kind of has everything I could possibly want.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the first. It is the first to feature my favorite protagonist, Tommy. Though I prefer the Tom Matthews version, but yeah, Corey Feldman was cool as as the child version of Tommy, and he was in a lot of my favorite '80s movies. But yeah, I like the counselors a lot this time. I like Crispin Glover and his friend. They were hilarious. And of course the twins. Yeah, I like the characters a lot better in this one than in the third film. And Ted White is quite possibly my favorite Jason. He was great. He was even more intimidating probably than Richard Brooker. He was real, just a hulking brute of a man. He was a beast.
I think the makeup was better, too.
Oh yeah, he looked awesome. And he has some good kills too. Of course they were like a little too censored, of course, unfortunately. But okay, I like the corkscrew in Crispin Glover's hand and the meat cleaver in his face.
Some nasty kills.
Yeah, I think the best kill is actually Jason himself. The death of Jason himself at the end. The machete going in the head and then falling down and sliding down. That was awesome. Sliding down the blade. Nasty. Tom Savini did a great job of the effects. I'm glad he returned for this one.
Yeah,
that was really cool. That's one of the best.
I know people would disagree with me, but this is probably my personal favorite slasher movie. Like for me, it just has all the things I could want. Like iconic killer with my favorite Jason, Ted White. The kills, one of the first kills in the movie, Axel, the hacksaw, and then the complete head twist. Brutal. Love all the characters. I just loved this movie. And as far as a franchise-wise, it's my favorite slasher, but standalone.
You got plenty of boobage.
Yeah, Judy Aronson. I talked to her on the phone. She owns a fitness center called Rocket Body Pilates, and it's all the way in I don't even know. I think California or something. But I called, pretending like I was gonna be, I was gonna go become a member. Yeah, I just wanted to talk to her.
That's awesome.
I thought it was cool. Yeah, I wanted so bad to mention hey, weren't you in Friday 13th Final Chapter? But then she would have been on to me if I'd done that.
Probably click.
Yeah. Not again. That's the third time this week.
Another one. Yeah, right.
Another one. Another crazy fan.
There goes another one of those Friday nerds.
Yeah.
But another death in this movie that would make me cringe: harpoon in the crotch and then shoot. Oh,
yeah.
But
help with Jason and doing that to people, man. Gosh.
Yeah, I forget the character's name, but the girl that goes out on the raft and he stabs from under and completely all the way through her back.
Yeah,
that
was Judy
why
Aarons.
Didn't that deflate or deflate? Yeah. It didn't deflate. I know, stabbed through it.
Yeah, she like almost got pneumonia for being, naked on a raft, like in the
I saw that.
And Ted White was actually like sticking up for her, saying, "Hey, somebody needs to you guys need to do a better job of, It's pretty funny. Jason was protecting
trying to protect her, yeah.
And him and Corey Feldman allegedly did not get along at all. Ted White said that Corey Feldman was a little punk and he was annoying and stuff.
Got another character going through the window with Rob, of course. But I like that you also have Jason going through it this time when he busts through for Corey and he's trying to take him.
Have Cheetah Will views in the chat.
There we go.
Happy Jason Day. See you later, James Moss. Thanks for coming by.
What's up,
Happy
Cheetah?
Friday the 13th. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good point. Tommy Jarvis' character was a nod to Savini. Yeah, he because Tommy Jarvis made like masks and like puppets and stuff.
Yeah,
he probably would have been like a makeup artist that had Jason not come along and just ruined his psyche. I think they used some unused Tom Savini props for that scene.
But so cool masks that he had,
yeah, and he made them all himself. It's like, wow, he's got mad skills.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with you, Hellhound. This is also my favorite of the franchise, and it's a damn shame that this is almost the last one with great gore, because from 5 to 8, the MPA said, no, you can't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a little bit of the MPAA did some butchering of their own.
True.
They got scissor happy with the series. I think part 7's the one that suffered the most from that, but
absolutely.
But we'll get to that.
Well, I have to be honest, guys. I'm not as high on this one as everybody seems to be.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a step up from 3, definitely. I do think it is one of the strongest, but I just don't put it at the top. Because I don't like the characters as much. I don't like Crispin Glover. I don't like the twins. I don't like the goofy stoner guy. I find them annoying.
You don't like the twins?
A lot of people love them, but I hate the stupid dance he does. This is so goofy.
It is. It was definitely far less serious this time around, but like I said, I don't hold these.
It's trying to be more of a serious Friday 13th, like the first 2.
Yeah, I don't hold these to as high of a standard like I do with Halloween. So I don't know. I think I'm a little more forgiving when it comes to Friday 13th and all of its all the cheesy, ridiculous moments. Because I think it's a lot of fun. I have a blast with it.
But the tone of it is much better than the 3rd, and probably most of them.
The characters are more bearable,
and the ending is just iconic. It was great.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Die.
Yeah, he was actually doing that. He was actually doing that to his career.
Speaking of Michael Jackson, he thought he was at one point, didn't he? He dressed exactly like him, hair like him, and tried to sing.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
He's got issues, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, when it comes to great slasher movies, I do hold this one pretty high. Just for the great gore, I like all the characters personally. I find the Crispin Glover dance to be hilariously stupid. But like I said, there's two in this franchise that are this for me. Like either one could be my favorite, but part 4 I just absolutely adore.
I love it.
Yep.
There's a lot of good things about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Jason's falling ass in this one too.
The kills are great and the effects are great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the it's shot really well.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that great score back, with Andrew Manfredini.
Yeah, oh yeah. I guess Crispin Glover was actually dancing to an AC/DC song. Apparently, when they,
I guess that's just my least favorite thing is the characters. If the characters were better, I would be one of my favorites.
I think they're better than the ones in part 3. And I like Tommy, of course, and I like Trish, his sister. I kind of like the guy who's trying to avenge his sister's death. Sandra from part 2. He's trying to find her killer, I guess. What's it called? It kind of didn't go anywhere though. I mean, but
yeah.
It was like a Jim Ogilvy from the Stepfather situation.
He's killing me. Wasn't that the scene when he's
yeah.
Run.
But as my second favorite Jason look.
Oh, yeah.
An actor, Ted White.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean the makeup is great.
Oh yeah.
Tom Savini killed it.
Absolutely. It's definitely one of the best, but I just don't put it as high as a lot of people do. Most people feel like you guys that they put it on the top, Fair enough. Ready to talk about the next one? Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. The second movie in the series to feature a killer other than Jason. It's a whodunit mystery. I agree, Collector Man.
I have a huge soft spot for this movie.
Me too. I think it's the most underrated in the whole series.
The most underrated, yes.
Yes, and I think that people only hate it because Jason's not the killer. It's like, yeah, that does kind of suck, but other than that, this is like easily one of the most entertaining. I love the soundtrack. I love the characters. This is probably the funniest. Really zany, really out there, really hilarious moments.
The trashiest.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely the sleaziest.
In a good way.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's a lot of fun. I freaking love this movie. And when I first watched it, I didn't know that Jason wasn't going to be the killer. I had no idea. And then I wasn't looking for another suspect. Like I wasn't, trying to figure out, who's the killer this time. I didn't know. I thought it was going to be Jason.
Yeah.
And then I found it was another guy like copycatting. I thought that was a drag because, Tommy returns. This time played by John Shepard, briefly by Corey Feldman in a dream sequence. But I was like, man, that scene at the end where they come face to face has so much less impact when it's not Jason. But I like to pretend that Jason possessed Roy because Jason Goes to Hell. It's revealed that Jason has the power to possess people. So why not? And maybe even possess Tommy at the end because Tommy sees Jason in his room. And then Tommy wears the mask and goes after Pam. Maybe Tommy's possessed. That's why he wants to just destroy him at the beginning of part 6. Because how did they even know? How did Creighton Duke even know that Jason possessed people in Jason Goes to Hell? It had to have happened before. So that's what I think.
Interesting theory.
Yeah, isn't it though? But yeah, I love this movie. It has some of the best kills. Unfortunately, they were heavily censored once again. But yeah, some good characters. Of course, our good friend Deborah Voorhees as Tina. It was a very memorable scene. Her death with the garden shears in the eyes was cool, and then her boyfriend with the belt over his head getting crushed.
That was nasty.
That was brutal. Also, like the decapitation. Yeah, like the decapitation with Ron Sloan's character. He really hurt me, Ma. You know, this motorcycle. And that was cool.
The characters are hilarious. Like, see, I love the characters in this movie and a lot better than 4, in my opinion. Like Ethel, she's freaking priceless.
Oh yeah, she's really funny.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, everything she says. Everything she says is gold. That's one ugly man that goes there.
Yeah, this movie super underrated. When I was younger, I loved the hockey mask with the blue chevrons. I thought that was just a cool way to wink at the people like this is not Jason.
Yeah, it is cool.
I love that. Of course, Reggie the Reckless with that scream.
Yeah, he's
funny. Ethel and Junior, probably the best characters in this movie. You tell him, Mom, you shut the fuck up.
They're hilarious.
And then you got the wannabe punk rock girl with the blonde and the black hair. She's
Tiffany Helm
dance with the robe.
Yeah, Violet. Yeah, that's an awesome song. His Eyes by Pseudo Echo. That's on my playlist on Spotify.
Nice.
I like that. I like that dance scene. Yeah, she had a cool hairstyle, a cool room. Yeah, Violet was a cool character. I thought Pam was kind of boring. It'd have been cooler if Violet survived.
They used to do with the chocolate.
Oh yeah, Joey. Yeah. Dominic Brascia, and then of course Demon. You know, Reggie's older brother, played by Miguel Nunez Jr. from Return of the Living Dead, and Mark Venturini as Vic, also from Return of the Living Dead. He's the one that kills Joey with the axe. So I first saw that, I was like, "Whoa!" I did not see that coming. That was kind of the first time we've seen somebody killed by someone other than Jason and his mom. You know, I was like, "Wow." That just came out of nowhere.
Like this guy's a psycho.
Yeah.
That's why you almost think, I guess they kind of allude that he could be the killer, you know.
Yeah, and Roy never even goes after him. It's like
probably would have been more interesting.
Yeah. Those two guys that the car broke down, those guys are funny too. So many funny characters, so many memorable characters.
You had the goofy cop,
yeah.
Classic goofy cop, dude.
The way this movie is filmed and looks, it kind of looks like a Little House on the Prairie or the Waltons episode.
Yeah.
It looks like that.
I like John Shepard as Tommy. He put off the more tortured, more like traumatized PTSD, survivor, very well, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him as much as Tom Matthews in the next one, but I thought he was pretty. I like how he's always beating the crap out of everybody.
He can, I know, right? Freaking body slam that guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty good. He had kind of a psychological thing going.
Yeah. I think maybe he was another red herring,
Seriously traumatized,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do
3
you
is
guys
not good.
Indeed.
Do you guys like the musical number in this movie? Ooh baby, ooh baby.
That was hilarious too.
It's so random.
I don't want to get out of here.
while he's taking a dump in the out. Ooh, those chamales, what does he say? They're talking back.
Enchiladas.
Yeah.
Damn enchiladas. He's awesome. I like Miguel Nunez Jr. He was great in Return of the Living Dead also.
That's right. He was,
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely has some of the most memorable characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's just straight up fun. That's what's.
Yeah, it's a blast. It's an absolute blast. I love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Jason still haunts you. You are not alone. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And we got to interview Debbie Sue.
Yeah. And our 4th episode too. That was cool. I'd like to do that again. Have another celebrity guest. It'd be great. Yeah, she was a class act. It was very cool to have her on the show.
Sure.
She's a sweetheart. And yeah, her death scene really stood out to me.
Yeah.
When I first watched this, definitely one of those memorable moments in the entire series.
Definitely.
And the director, Danny Steinman, I guess he did like pornographic movies before this, and it shows. It shows.
Yeah. Ample nudity.
Yeah.
It's got the sleaze. I think he kills more people in this movie than any.
Yeah. It had the highest body count at the time. It's like, man, Roy killed more people than Jason did. I like Tom Morga as Roy because Roy Burns was actually played by Dick Wyand, whatever. But Tom Morga played him in the in the mask and the outfit. So he was actually the killer. He was Jason. And he played Jason like in the dream sequences and the hallucinations that Tommy had too. So I think as far as he was a pretty good Jason.
I like when they when he came out of the grave at the beginning with Corey
that was
Feldman.
cool. The grave robbers.
Yep. When I first saw this movie in the opening scene where the grave robbers get killed, my first thought was, who buried Jason with weapons? Why is he pulling?
Bad idea.
Yeah, this movie is just an absolute blast. I freaking love it. I think it's just so much fun.
So what do you guys think the way it ended there, kind of ominously?
Yeah, Tommy wearing the mask, and
I
think he was possessed by Jason.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, but really, what they intended was he just lost it. I think he was supposed to become the killer, like in the next one, but then, of course, the movie people tore it apart because Jason wasn't the killer. So it's like, oh, okay, we got to bring Jason back in the next one. So that just kind of went out the window. Thankfully, since I'm glad Jason did come back.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm glad they brought him back. But
yeah,
it could have been interesting for one more movie, maybe.
Yeah.
Or at least part of the
movie,
maybe.
Yeah. But it's very fun. But I'm super excited for the next one because it's also my favorite. Part 6.
It's my second favorite. Friday 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives. Next to Final Chapter. This is my second favorite.
Yeah, I love this. It's awesome.
Tom Matthews as Tommy Jarvis, and this one is my favorite protagonist in the whole series. Him and Ginny. It's great. I love. This is the first one where Jason's like a full-fledged living dead, walking corpse zombie, all decomposed and rotted and filled with maggots and stuff. And it was a really cool look too. I love that opening in the cemetery at the beginning. It reminds me of Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
It has that universal monster.
Yeah. It's probably my favorite opening in the entire series, quite possibly. And Tom Matthews is great. C.J. Graham is a great Jason.
Yes, he's my favorite, honestly.
Yeah, he's really, really good. I like him a lot. I like how many hands-on kills there are. I like the heart being ripped out, and then the paintballers and stuff. And we see the bloody, brutal aftermath, all the massacred, mangled up victims. That was cool.
A triple decapitation.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah.
I like Megan a lot too. The sheriff Garris's daughter. Played by Jennifer Cook. She's cool.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Likeable.
Yes, indeed. Some great kills. A great Jason. Great main characters. Some of the other counselors I thought were kind of boring. I do like the guy, I forget his name, the guy who has the RV blasting. Yeah, that's it. When blasting the Alice Cooper song. This movie had a great soundtrack as well, just like Part 5.
Teenage Frankenstein.
The Man Behind the Mask song during the end credits.
That's a great scene though when he with the knife when the guy's driving
shoves
the chick's face through the
it's awesome.
The wall, the metal. That was
cool. I just want to say I know this movie had more of a comedic tone, but I keep thinking of the scenes that truly make me laugh, like the RV scene. He's driving. Jason's killing her in the back, and the whole time he's like, "What are you doing back there? Taking a dump?" This is great. I'm having such a great time right now.
You gotta love the James Bond like opening.
Yeah, that was cool. I didn't think I'd see that in a Jason movie.
Yeah, the paintballer. That scene makes me laugh. The moment Jason rips his arm off, but even he's just like, "Damn." I just ripped his whole arm.
And the smiley face on the tree.
That never bothers me.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, Jason had a really cool look.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we have to forgive the fact that digging up Jason is the dumbest idea ever.
Yeah. It's like he's still haunted by his, nightmares of Jason, so he's gonna dig him up. He gets him to destroy his body, but it's like, man, he inadvertently resurrected him.
This guy really messed you over.
A pretty definitive death for Jason too, being chained up at the bottom of the lake at the end. It's like back where it all started, like his watery grave, just like before. That was cool. That was a really definitive death.
I never noticed till watching it today that the scene where Tommy reads the book about the occult, and then I guess that's how he comes up with the idea to do that thing at the end in the lake,
Yeah, I think so.
But as far as the characters go, I personally really like pretty much everyone. The two sheriffs, the two cops, they're pretty fun. You got the wherever the red dot goes, you bang. This is, people say this is the first Friday the 13th with actual kids at the camp. But if you watch the original Friday the 13th, that POV, you can see kids sleeping in the bunk.
Yeah, that's true. That's
right.
But it's like actual main characters. Yes, this is the first one with actual kids in it.
Mm-hmm.
The death scenes, they're more tame because but there are still
they definitely got involved.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one scene where he kills that girl and then you just see a blood splatter in the window and we're like, what happened there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love a fully uncensored version.
Yeah.
Well, you do get to see the girl's head get pulled right off,
Yeah.
Yep, and the sheriff's death was cool too. The full-on lawn chair folded back. That was cool.
That was brutal.
Yeah, and you can hear snap.
It's the only entry in the series to not have any nudity whatsoever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's part 1. It has that girl's. If you don't blink, it has that girl's nipple. But yeah, this one has none to speak of. So this is this could be shown on PBS. Fun for the whole family.
But you could show it on cable probably in the. You wouldn't have to cut that much out, really.
Right.
Because there's not a whole lot of blood.
Yeah, well, except for that one, the aftermath, that one kill, the blood's all over the cabin everywhere. He opens the door, and there's blood and guts everywhere. wish we could have seen that. We see her and shove her out the window and then pulls her. You know, I wish we could have seen like.
There's one scene where you see the shadow of him stabbing someone with the spear.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. And
I love that he uses the wrought iron fence, the spire from the Tommy impaled him with. That's cool.
Yep. This movie was also pretty self-aware too. You know, like the scene where she's like, "I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask."
Yeah.
Love that, but
the cemetery groundskeeper breaking the fourth wall. Like, some folks have a strange idea in things. It's just fun. To me, this is probably
dig him up.
They think I'm a fart head.
Yes. Camp Forest Green. Yeah, it wasn't Camp Crystal Lake anymore.
Yeah.
That's another one that's just so much fun, you know, like 5 was, but only it's serious when it needs to be, you know.
Yeah.
Like Jason is serious, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a little more serious than 5.
And Jason's badass in this one, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
I love his look, and even when he doesn't have the mask on, it's all decrepit and cobwebs and maggots in his face.
Maggots and worms. Usually he gets unmasked at the end, and this one he actually starts out without unmasked. That was a switch. It was a pretty cool look too. It was a really cool zombie makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, CJ Graham's a great Jason, and like I said, Tom Matthews as Tommy is my favorite protagonist of the whole series. I really wish Tommy would have returned in the next movie. See you later. Have Cheetah. Will View. Thanks for coming by.
Peace, man.
Yep. I thought about this, you know, looking at horror franchises, and Halloween, Nightmare, and Friday pretty much all have their own little trilogy. Halloween 4, 5, 6, Nightmare 3, 4, 5, Friday 4, 5, 6. Because they're the only ones with the recurring characters and all that.
That's a good point, yeah.
I feel like 2, 3, and 4 can kind of make up a trilogy too. Kind of like because they all take place within a few days of each other.
True.
Yeah, they all take place
like
in
the span of a few days. Off from the footage from part 2.
Right. And also it was the human, the more human than Jason. I always considered him a supernatural character, resurrected person who was dead. He wasn't really quite a full-fledged zombie yet, like he is in
this movie is where everyone says this is where zombie Jason.
Yeah, he's undoubtedly a walking corpse in this one.
Yep. This movie, 10 out of 10, pure enjoyment.
Yes, love it. Highly amusing.
Absolutely. Kicks ass.
Love it.
Love it.
Indeed. And next we have Friday 13th, Part 7, The New Blood.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like this one. It seems like just in general, like all the movies in the series that did something different, people are really hard on. But I appreciate it when they wanted to mix it up a little bit and keep things fresh. I like the idea that Jason has, worthy opponent, Tina, played by Lara Park Lincoln, who has telekinesis. She can move things in her mind. I thought that was interesting. It was a little more like fantasy oriented, but hell, we got a zombie, a dead person literally rising from the grave in the last film. So why the hell not?
Right. Why not go there?
Yeah, and I like Tina. She's a great protagonist. And this is by far my favorite Jason look of the entire series. The chain around his neck. Yes. That's a really cool looking zombie. And then the exposed bones, the ribs. Yeah, when he's unmasked at the end, he's got the part of his skull.
His spine.
Spinal column. That looks amazing. Yeah,
awesome.
Easily his best. Yeah, easily his best appearance. Go figure. It was, of course, directed by John Carl Buechler, who's a makeup artist. So,
great attention to detail. Look at the chain wrapped around him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He looks phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely love this look for Jason.
Was the debut of Kane Hodder?
Yes, Kane Hodder. The only actor to play Jason more than once, and he'd play him the next three too. And he's a great Jason. He's right up there with Ted White and C.J. Graham and Richard Brooker. Those are my top four. And Kane Hodder liked doing the hands-on kills when Jason would kill people with his bare hands, which is really cool. He was a very brutal Jason. I love the heavy breathing, and he was very, very intimidating. He was just a behemoth, unstoppable Terminator like juggernaut.
Yeah,
he was a beast, and he was great. And
teleport too.
Yeah. I think this one did suffer the most from the MPAA censoring it. I would love to see a fully uncut version. I guess there are the slash scenes and as a special feature. You can kind of see what they were going for. Of course, the head being crushed and stuff like that. But it's pretty good kills.
The scene with the doctor is the one that's so infuriating. Like, oh, that's
awesome.
Damn
it. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that.
I want to see blood.
Yeah, the weed eaters, and then I think the ending is kind of stupid. She sets Jason on fire, which was cool. It's like, okay, that's a Jason definitely haven't seen it before. But then he's still alive at the end. Then her dad comes out of the water and chains him back up. Like, what was that? Was he a ghost? Was he a zombie? Did she just use her powers to make the chain? Yeah, I don't know. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Especially since he was supposed to be decomposed looking originally, but then they changed it.
With that ending in particular, I almost have to wonder if they were trying to do like the earlier ones, like that didn't really happen. Like Jason was still in the house, but it wasn't. He's in the bottom of the lake in 8 because the dad would be completely decayed, just to nothing. Damn shame.
I like to believe she just used her. I believe she just used her telekinesis to just make the Shane rise up out of the lake and wrap herself around Jason's neck and just imprison him back in his watery tomb. I don't think it was really her dad's ghost. I don't know, or maybe it was. Who knows?
Yeah.
We saw Miss Voorhees' ghost, I guess, at the end of part 3. So why not? Yep. I agree, Collector Man. Yeah, I love this one too. Yeah, the MPAAs. Yeah, definitely the least kind of this installment.
I love the whole, fight at the end.
That was cool.
They really go at it.
Yeah, it was very riveting.
Yeah, lightning coming down. You got
like when she tightens the mask around his face and just breaks it in half.
And it
reveals that awesome looking zombie makeup. It was a really iconic moment. I think this movie's kind of underrated. I do agree with the people who say that it has a lot of boring parts. I think they tried to be a little more serious after part 5 and 6 had kind of a more comedic tone. But I think it kind of I think it kind of hurts the movie a little bit because like I said, some scenes kind of drag on. This is kind of one.
Some of the characters are pretty good, like the doctor and the trying to be your therapist or whatever, and but he's got ulterior motives. It seems like, and
that was Terry Kaiser from Weekend at Bernie's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this
it actually blonde girl,
Yeah, she was. Oh, she was just nasty.
Snotty, bitchy girls always making fun.
Yeah, this one and the next one both had a character like that.
Oh, yeah. It actually irritated me how just butchered these kills were, because they could have been some of the best of the franchise. I mean, we got possibly the most classic one with Kane Hodder in the sleeping bag up against the tree.
Yeah.
Classic. But everyone calls this Jason versus Carrie.
Yeah.
This is the only one I think where it really hurts the movie. Those kills being cut up, it really shows and it's obvious.
It's very unfortunate. It's a darn shame.
This could have been a good movie, but
Yeah.
It almost makes it not good because of the.
Yeah, I know. It could have been a lot better. And Carl Buechler even said that like it wasn't it wasn't the version that was meant to be seen,
It's a shame that there'll probably never be an uncut version.
Yeah,
because they lost the footage, right?
It really sucks. Overall, yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I like it a lot.
This is probably my favorite Kane Hodder as Jason performance.
Oh yeah,
and the best look of Jason by far.
Look.
Yes.
Boy, the next one is pretty hated, but I gotta say, I kind of like it.
I love it. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's underrated as hell. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Everybody hates this movie. Oh, not enough if it's in New York City. Too much if it's on the boat. Okay, we get it. God, can we please move on? It would have been awesome to see him in the city more. I do agree that is a bummer, but I like the scenes on the boat. At least they got away from the camp. They did something different. It was refreshing to see a change of scenery after 7 movies of the same setting. Even though the camp looked a lot different, but whatever. I like the scenes on the boat. I love the scenes of the city. I feel like when he did finally get to the city, I think it was well worth the wait. I think they did really milk it. We saw him in the subway. We saw him on top of buildings, and the diner, and in the sewer, and in Times Square. The Big Apple, everything. That was really cool.
On the train, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the train. That's some of my favorite. Yeah, Jason's look isn't quite as good this time around. For some reason, he doesn't have the exposed bones anymore. I don't know why. And he's like all slimy.
He's all slimy,
yeah. When he's unmasked, what was that? That looked terrible. It didn't look nearly as cool as in the last one.
Why did it look so different?
Yeah. I do like Kane Hodder. Yeah, I think he does a great job once again. And it had some of my favorite Jason moments in the entire series. I love when he kicks the boom box and like, "You're dead meat, slime bag." He's lifting the mask. You're like, it's cool, man. Awesome. It's cool. And then he sees the billboard with the hockey mask. He's just like, huh? And some good kills too. I like the beheading where he punches Julian's head off his shoulders. Kind of reminds me of the decapitation in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That was cool. And then of course the hot coal being shoved in the guy's chest.
Mm-hmm.
They puts the guy in what was it, the toxic waste thing?
Yeah.
Dumps him into the.
And they kill off Jason in a pretty definitive way in this one too. The toxic waste, melting him in the sewer, completely dissolving him. That was stupid. They turned back into a young boy. I think that was just one of Rennie's visions. Yeah, Rennie is the final girl this time, played by Jensen Daggett. She has these visions because she was attacked by Jason in the lake when he was still just a waterlogged, undead little boy, still in Crystal Lake. And, she's traumatized by that. And then I think that was just one of her visions, hopefully. That I want to be a hallucination. But it's a pretty definitive way to kill him, and then dissolve it in toxic waste. I don't know why the sewer's flooded with toxic waste. Do they really do that? Probably not, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. The Ninja Turtles are down there, so maybe that's how they do up.
Yeah, true.
But, the iconic shot of Jason in Times Square, just that was a cool looking shot.
Yes, that was awesome.
As you have already said, Jason unmasked. What?
Yeah.
He actually, for some reason, started roaring like a dinosaur. He's like,
yeah.
The hell?
And he talks too.
There's a little kid voice, no less. You gotta admit, there's a few WTF moments.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he actually turned back into a boy. I think that was just her hallucinating. Let's hope so, anyway.
Some of these characters are really disposable in this movie, though. I don't care about anybody.
The
only guy that I liked was probably her father, or supposed. What was he, like a foster father or something?
Her uncle or something.
Yeah.
I think he was her uncle and had custody of her.
I
think we tried to rehash the the shrink character from the last movie with her uncle.
Yeah.
I think you were supposed to hate him, but he actually made like logical decisions. He actually, I don't know. He actually kind of made sense.
Like how when she was a little girl, he pushed her in the lake.
Yeah, trying to teach her how to swim. Then she got attacked by Jason.
And she saw Jason.
Yeah, and I like how and it shows Jason. Yeah, she has these hallucinations. Even the dog saw it that one time. Like, what was that? And then Jason has a full head of hair, and he looks normal looking.
I know he has. And what did he ever look like that? Because in the first movie, he's bald and like deformed.
Yeah,
like what the hell?
I like
continuity's not the strongest.
Now, I like that in this movie, no one in New York is impressed. For them, this is just a Tuesday. Like Jason's walking around.
I know you probably could literally do that, and no one would be like.
They have the stuck-up bitch character yet again, just like in Part 7.
Yeah.
She tries to blackmail the uncle because he's like a teacher or something.
Yeah. But Julia's death, I love that scene. It's like Jason was like, "Hey man, I'm actually going to give you a shot. Let's see what you got." And he just takes like 40 punches. Like,
he knocks him out in one hit, knocks his head clean off his shoulders.
Yeah, Jason really teleports in this movie specifically. He could be on the ground, and then the next thing he shoots up to the roof. And
I always like to pretend that he's just really, really fast, and we just don't see it. But whatever.
But he moves slower in this movie than any.
Yeah, I know. It's inconsistent for sure. Who knows?
And you got to give a shout out to Ken Kersinger in the diner, who would later play Jason. He throws him in the mirror.
Yeah, I'm sure Kane Hodder loves that scene where he knocks Ken Kersinger on his ass.
But he does a couple scenes as Jason.
The stunt work.
As a stunt double or whatever.
I agree with that, Collector Man. Yeah, Nightmare and Halloween probably did better with characters overall. Recurring characters that we actually cared about.
Is another final girl that you don't give I don't give a damn about this girl.
I don't think she was that bad. She had a history with Jason again, kind of like Chris did in Part 3. But
yeah, I mean,
it's kind of boring.
It was written all right, but her performance is like bland and whatever.
I thought she was kind of boring.
Yeah,
I kind of got tired of the whole like Wonder Bread, like goody two shoes chicks as the final girl. I want to see a Jason movie where the final girl like actually smokes pot and fornicates and makes bad decisions and stuff. I'm tired of the whole straight A student. Great soundtrack too. I like the music in this movie. I love those two junkie thug losers that Jason dispatches of. That was cool.
Oh yeah.
I like that part.
But there's a character that Rennie is close to. It's kind of like her mother figure or something.
Yeah.
When she dies, like in that car explosion, no one even mentions it. Like they're just like,
Rennie doesn't even seem to care. She's just like focused on you. Pushed me into the lake. It's like your friend is dying over there. Wow. I like that rocker chick, the guitarist chick too.
Yeah.
Didn't last long enough though.
Yeah.
But
pretty cool death.
Yeah. And there's another crazy Ralph type character who warned everybody and said that they're doomed and stuff.
Yeah. You could definitely feel the early 90s slipping in with this one. You just had that early 90s coming in.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think this movie is underrated, like Part 5. I think it's highly amusing. I think it's one of the more entertaining entries. I do wish that he was in the city more. It definitely has some big problems for sure. I'm not going to say pretend like it's perfect or anything. It's far from it. But I still find it enjoyable for what it is, despite all its flaws. It's stupid as hell. It's one of the more
funny that a lot of the scenes from the city were like filmed in Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they didn't have the budget for it, so.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to see more city stuff.
Oh yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, the poster and even the trailer seemed to suggest that, even the title, suggests that more of it's going to be in Manhattan. But what can you do?
It's a fun one though. It's not bad. It's not
I think it's very fun.
But I know this would also make some people say, "What?" I'm sorry. I like Jason Goes to Hell too. I am a fan of movies that are so just stupid and insane that I can have a good time with. I can understand the flaws, but for me, it's just different. I can have a good time. And this movie brought the gore back. Like the kills in this movie were brutal.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I think that, I think Jason Goes to Hell is definitely a guilty pleasure and is very underrated. I think it might have the best gore of the whole series. Some of the nastiest, most brutal, most inventive kills. Awesome practical effects, too. I hated this movie when I first saw it. This was my least favorite for years, but it just grew on me more and more. And every time I watch it, I like it just a little more. Plus, the director, Adam Marcus, is really freaking cool. He wishes me a happy birthday every year on Facebook. He's a really cool guy. There's a lot of things I don't like about this movie. I don't like how Jason had a sister and then a niece. I thought that was unnecessary. I didn't like the knife turning into a mystical dagger. I thought that was stupid. I don't mind the fact that he possesses people anymore. That used to bother me. I used to hate it. But I just think that's kind of interesting. I do, and he had such a cool look too. I do wish that we would have saw more of him, like looking like this in the movie. He's not in it enough, which really sucks. I like the way Kane Hodder plays him, and I like the look. It looks really cool. But yeah, the scene where he just cleans house in the police station, even though he is in somebody else's body, I thought was really cool. Yeah, the girl being cut in half in the tent. Wow, yeah, really, really brutal. And I know a lot of people don't like this movie, and I don't understand why people can't admit that there are some great things about it. The kills are awesome. There's the gore is just immaculate. And it was already gory to begin with, and the unrated version is even more brutal. So the MPAA didn't screw this one all up like they did Part 7, fortunately. But there are some really big flaws. They did mess with the mythology a little too much, unfortunately. I don't care for a lot of the additions. I don't really feel like a Jason movie. It kind of feels like they wanted to do something else. It is kind of the black sheep of the series. I do like Creighton Duke, played by Stephen Wilson. Or Stephen Williams, sorry. Yeah, Stephen Williams. I love that guy. He's awesome. He's a great character. I wish he could have been in it more. It probably should have been Tommy, though. That would have made a little more sense, but whatever. But yeah, Jason Goes to Hell. I have a soft spot for it. I hated it for years, but it has a special place in my heart. And like I said, this grew on me more and more over the years. And despite its huge problems, I think it's a lot of fun.
I wish I could agree. It's my least favorite, and I don't like it.
It was mine too for years. For years, it was
got some great gore, like you said, for sure, and practical effects, but it's just like so over the top. Like it's like I get that. Oh, now he's in Manhattan, and now he's jumping from body to body. It's just like, come on, jumping the shark now.
Yeah, it's a little out there for sure. Yeah, the jumping of the body from body to body, I used to despise that. But that's one of the few of the new elements that don't bother me as much. Because then I could pretend that he possessed Roy in Part 5, and I could pretend that Jason was the killer in that movie. So, this is Part 7 was Jason meets Carrie. This is Jason meets the Hidden.
At least you get to see him blown up smithereens.
When I first watched this, I was like, whoa, they killed him off already. I was like, I couldn't wait to see what happened after that. I was like, man, they already killed him off. And then we start possessing them. The coroner eats the heart and stuff like that. I didn't really like the way he possessed people. That was kind of weird. And he turned into that mutant hell baby thing towards the end. like a little demonic creature. Yeah, it's like, is this a Friday the 13th movie?
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's definitely a different kind of movie. But like I said,
so out there.
But for what it is, I just appreciate it for what it is. I understand. I totally understand all the hate it gets. Believe me, I do. Because I was one of those people for years. I despised this movie. Every time I had a marathon, I would skip over it. But I don't know. I think that the things that there are to like about it, I really like. So they should have done away with Jason having a sister and the mystical dagger. Yeah. The Necronomicon even makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Something
there.
Yeah. It's definitely the most bizarre in the whole series for sure.
Yeah. And Freddie's glove takes Jason's mask to hell at the end. See,
we wanted to see Freddy versus Jason after that, and we had to wait a whole decade after this movie.
I know, right?
See, I know I review movies, but this is why I don't think I'd be like a good official movie critic, is because I tend to enjoy movies that most people hate. Like, all right, I know everyone, including me, hates Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, but if I have a few beers, I'm gonna be laughing at how stupid that movie is. It's ridiculous.
Well, I do the same thing with this movie. I just laugh at how like ridiculous and stupid it is, but I just really appreciate the gore and the makeup, the practical effects, and I definitely like respect that about it.
That's my least favorite look of Jason. I can't stand that like big old head with the little head like this.
I think it's cool. The mask looks like it's like almost part of his face, like his face is like growing around it. I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool, but yeah.
Why even wear a mask? There's like nothing left of
it. That scene where they're all just shooting at Jason, and then he's like, "Incoming!" You can hear Jason going, "No!"
Yeah, he makes a lot of noises in this one. Yeah, Kane Hodder was barely in it, really. But he does have a cameo. Yeah, there's another character that he's like talking crap about Jason before he kills him.
The scene.
I realized the other day when I was watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm like, oh shit, he talked to that? Like,
the scene in this movie where Creighton Duke dies, he goes up to Jason. He's like, "You son of a bitch, did you remember me?" And I'm like, "Does he?"
Nope.
Where did you met cool?
I don't remember him.
Like they randomly throw in the sister.
Yeah, I feel like we missed something.
Here's what I would have
another movie between 8 and this one.
See, here's what I would have thought was cool. If your theory ended up being correct, like in part 5, Jason did possess Roy, and it was all that. I thought you could have made Creighton Duke Reggie the Reckless grown up hunting down Jason, and that's why
I said that. Yeah, back when I reviewed part 5, I mentioned that I had the theory that I was like, what if Creighton Duke was actually Reggie the Reckless grown up? That'd be cool. I feel like he wouldn't be that old though. Creighton Duke was a lot older than Reggie would be, but yeah, maybe he's like related to him or something, like, because that would make a lot more sense. That was my theory. Yeah, I said that back when I reviewed that like 6 years ago. But yeah, I would have liked to know more about Creighton Duke's history and how does he know that Jason can possess people and stuff. That's why he should explain. He should have said he did it before. This man named Roy Burns, and I'm like, it would have made part 5 even better, and it would explain like, how he knew that because has he done this before? I don't know. Feels like this is kind of more of a standalone movie. It kind of doesn't really fit in the rest of the series. Again, there is a lot to dislike about it. I definitely understand all the criticisms. They're more than valid. I can definitely understand why this is everybody's least favorite, but I just can't hate it anymore because I just think that it has some really cool moments for sure. A lot of scenes I really look forward to. There's more than enough scenes that make me really roll my eyes and just cringe. Like, oh god, I can't believe they did that.
But it's like the fact that they did this movie, and that's why they went. Oh, we went there. Let's just throw them in space now. Next time,
Yeah,
it's so whacked and out there. Yeah. Well, it's like now you can just do anything with Jason.
Yeah, screw it.
The best comedy movies ever, Jason X. Straight comedy, pretty much. It's so much fun.
Oh my God.
I loathed this movie when I first saw it. I absolutely hated it. I thought, man, Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X both flat out suck. I thought it was stupid that it had a science fiction theme. It was stupid that he's at a space station in the future. It's stupid that he becomes a cyborg, Uber Jason with cybernetic, mechanical, robotic enhancements. But like Jason Goes to Hell, this one kind of grew on me too. Like, it just kind of, I feel like it's proud. It knows what it is. It knows it's stupid. It knows it's ridiculous. It's not taking itself seriously anymore. And it just kind of runs with it. It's not trying to be serious or scary or a good movie. It's trying to be ridiculous and cheesy. This is my least favorite, probably still, but I don't hate it. I wouldn't even say I dislike it. It's really, really dumb. It's one of the stupidest movies ever made. It's totally ridiculous, but it's still fun. It has some cool kills too. Of course, the chick's face being cryogenically frozen and smashed on the counter. That was awesome. A few other really cool highlights. The acting is really bad in this one.
I was just gonna say, this may be worse than the part 3 acting.
Oh, I think so, definitely. I think this is the worst acting of the whole series. And that's saying something. Lots of ridiculous moments. It really is a stupid idea, Jason in space and in the future becoming a cyborg. But I don't know. It's a guilty pleasure. I think it's so bad it's good. And David Cronenberg has a cameo at the beginning. That's kind of cool. And, they established that Jason also has regenerative capabilities, and he even has a nose. This time when they unmask him briefly, it's like, man.
But you admit it's bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's very bad, yeah. Both of these movies are bad, don't get me wrong. They're very bad. I just think they're enjoyably bad. Believe me, I don't hold these as high as I do, part 4 or part 6 or part 1 or any of the others, really. They're very, very bad movies. I think they're fun.
They're still at the bottom of my list, but I can do
they are. Yeah, they really are. I do rank them
for the laugh, but...
Yeah. I have to be in a certain mood. But
I guess I'm not the kind of guy that's like that loves to watch so bad they're good movies all the time.
Yeah, well, I have to be in a certain mood, like I said, but I could watch part 4 or 6 or really any of the first 8. I could watch them anytime, but I have to be in a certain mood for these two.
Yeah,
because they are crap.
Very rarely do.
They're garbage, but they're good garbage. If you're in that mood, they're just fun.
Yep.
It's like Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 kind of garbage.
Yes. Samurai Cop.
Samurai Cop.
Jason X.
It's on the level of Sergeant Kabuki Man.
Yeah. Trauma.
But one of the best things ever, and I mean ever, about this movie is that when they're in the future, Jason is awoken from someone's orgasm. As soon as they have it, he's like, da-da-da-da.
Yeah. He's very self-aware. Yeah. Uh-oh, they're doing that. Better come back to life.
But I'll be honest, I did not like the look of Jason in this movie. The weird hockey mask nose and that.
He had like frizzy hair.
And he had like hair, yeah. The unmasked look didn't look good either. The Uber Jason, when he gets the cybernetic enhancements as like robotic parts, it's stupid as hell, but it is kind of fun, It's kind of cool. I don't know. I used to despise this movie. Yeah, exactly. I used to absolutely hate this movie, but if I'm a certain movie, I think it's a blast. It's very bad, but it's fun. It's harmless,
Yeah, true. I could see where
it knows what it is. Yeah. It doesn't try to be anything, but it doesn't try to be anything great.
That's true.
You gotta love how even the worst movies in a horror franchise will say stuff like, easily one of the most satisfying and entertaining of the franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
goes back to the roots of what we loved about Friday the 13th or something like that.
Yeah.
Definitely weirdest in the franchise, yeah. That was Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
So I guess with the next one, do we talk about Freddy versus Jason since we covered it?
You gotta.
Yeah.
Well, Jason in this movie, I think is a little overhated. Ken Kersinger.
Yeah.
Like I get that he's stiff and very Frankenstein's monster-like, but he's not.
That's why I like it.
I do wish Kane Hodder I do wish Kane Hodder had returned. But yeah, Ken Kersinger did a good job. He was a very brutal Jason. Another thing I didn't like is he had these like sad puppy dog eyes, like these really expressive, like emotional eyes. I thought that was weird, but whatever. They kind of tried to make him like the victim. He was almost kind of like the anti-hero because they made Freddie the straight up villain. They almost kind of made Jason like, the one that they were like rooting for. They wanted Jason
like
to win. Yeah, which is kind of an interesting concept. I really like this movie. I think it pretty much delivered everything. I saw it in theaters when it first came out. It pretty much gave me everything I wanted to see. The only like minor criticism, this is more of a nitpick really, is it didn't have any returning characters from the Elm Street or Friday 13th series. But like I said, it's more of a nitpick. It would have been cool, but whatever. What can you do? I love the flashback scenes in Crystal Lake. That just blew my mind. And then of course the flashbacks to Freddie when he was human, before he died, when he was just a serial killer. That just blew my mind, all that stuff. I loved all the references. They were very respectful of both franchises, I think.
Yeah.
And, just really cool seeing Jason fight Freddie. That's what I came for, and I think it really delivered to that front. The characters were meh. Some of them were cool. The main girl, I guess Monica Keena, she's one of the weakest final girls, I think, in the whole series. And, I don't know, her acting just kind of subpar. Some of the characters are annoying, but
I don't think they hired any of those girls for acting ability.
Yeah, true. But seeing Jason fight Freddie is awesome. Robert Englund's always great as Freddie. This is really cool seeing him and Jason in the same movie. Finally, after all this time. And every time I watch this movie, it's probably become more and more evident. But my younger self, my inner younger self, just will not let me dislike this movie. I just remember how I felt in the theater. I was just so blown away by how respectful they were. But
you can't tell me that's not badass though. When they first get ready to fight, and you hear the heavy metal music in the background, there's fire, and like, it's badass.
Yeah, that's really really cool.
Yeah, I think I've said this before, but I like the character Mark. But other than that, any other human character I don't care about at all.
Yeah, I agree.
The acting at points is horrible. Like Freddie died by fire, Jason by water. How can we? Oh god!
I'm glad they confirmed that Jason actually died by the water.
Yeah.
But a lot of stupid dialogue and bad acting. A little bit too much CGI in the dream sequences, I think.
Yeah.
Then you got the Destiny's Child girl there.
Yeah. And the chick from Ginger Snaps.
Yeah.
Catherine Isabel, is that her name? One of the I love Freddie's overuse of the word bitch, Let me handle
it's a great return to form for Robert Englund after Freddie's dead,
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, he's back,
Yeah, the real Freddie.
He's really good in that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good swan song for him.
I still was, because I'm such a big Freddie fan, I was still disappointed that he only killed one person in this movie.
Yeah, Jason has a really high body count. Freddie only kills one person. What was that? That was weird. Big K's in the chat. How's it going?
Yeah.
I agree. Demon Freddy was cool. It's not my fault. This bitch is dead on her feet.
Love it. Asshole, up here.
Yeah. He has some great lines. Really funny Freddy moments.
Yep. The asshole who gets killed in the bed and then
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was probably the best kill of the whole movie, quite possibly.
I love the part in the when they're in the cornfields or whatever.
The rave.
And, like, Jason's just on fire, like walking, and he doesn't give a shit.
That's so awesome. This blew my mind.
Like packing people and the blood's spreading everywhere. I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. I agree. The Freddie caterpillar would have looked better if it was practical and not CGI. I like how he possessed that guy, that stoner guy who looks like Jay. That was a cool nod to part 2, how he possessed Jesse.
Dude, that goalie was pissed about something.
A lot of people have a problem with how the main characters figure everything out really quickly, but I don't care. I'm glad they do because I want less time to be spent on them. We already know what's going on, so I don't need the characters to take more time figuring out everything. I just want to see Jason and Freddie fight. I already know what's going on, so I don't need the characters to spend the whole movie saying, "Oh, what's going on?" That would have been boring and monotonous. Yeah, this movie has some problems. I think overall it really delivered. I think it was a huge step up from Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. And was very respectful to both franchises, like I said. It's really, really cool seeing these two slasher villains in the same movie. And yeah, after this movie came out, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Are we going to see Jason fight Michael? Or maybe Jason fight Leatherface? I was so excited. I was like, man, I can't wait to see what the future holds. But then we just got crappy remakes and reboots instead. Thanks a lot. We could have seen Jason fight Michael and Leatherface, but nope. Let's just start all over. Pretend that all these movies don't exist.
Or Ash versus
Jason
versus Bray. That was the comic book, remember?
Oh man, that would have been killer.
How cool would that be?
The comic book is really good. I reread that recently, but I would love to see it made into a movie. That'd be really awesome. That'd probably never happen now, unfortunately. But yeah, I love this movie. It's a lot of fun. Awesome soundtrack too, and great kills and great gore.
Definitely, it does. Like you said, it has some problems, but like it has that the early 2000s CGI.
Yeah,
means like when the girl takes his nose off.
Yeah. Got your nose.
Got your nose.
Shouldn't that have happened to her in real life? Because everything Freddie does to somebody in the dream world happens to them real. Maybe he wasn't powerful enough yet. I don't know.
But that looked terrible.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was atrocious.
And then the thing coming from the ceiling, turning the slug thing.
The caterpillar.
The dude smoking the weed.
I agree, Collector, man. Very disappointing. What could have been. Because it ended, it had an open ending. I want to see what happened afterwards. Freddie, Jason comes out of the water holding Freddie's head, and Freddie winks and laughs. It's like, what happens next?
I know. It should have been a part 2. Like,
yeah, they should have made another one with Ash.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, it was successful too. So what the hell? Like, it was the #1 movie for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Oh man, I hope that's not the case. Big K, that'd be awful.
I know a lot of people had a problem with the scene with the water when Jason just stops and he won't walk through the water.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, because Jason always
he's not afraid of water. Come on.
He always went in the lake. Anytime some skinny dipping bimbo was in there, he'd be the first one in the lake to go kill her. But I think that things are different in the dream world. I think it just made him think about it. Freddie really got in his head. I think that was just
right.
I don't think he's really afraid of water. It's just this is the dream world, and this is playing up his fears and stuff. Freddie just has that power over people.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he be able to get? It's not like he doesn't have a soul or a brain or anything.
Right.
He should be able to dream just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Only he'd have some seriously fucked up dreams.
Yeah, no doubt. It's called Freddie.
People dead everywhere. It'd be like freaking raining blood or something.
Yeah. It's cool. Freddie used Jason's mom, Pamela, not played by Betsy Palmer, but yeah, Freddie cool, turned into her and told Jason to go kill.
Yeah. The opening scene with Jason in hell. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What'd you say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was telling you to go ahead.
No, I didn't hear what you said, though.
I was saying that the beginning of the movie, where Jason technically in hell, it's funny the fact that he pretty much does in hell what he does in real life. Just drags dead bodies and puts them places like the devil. He's bringing me customers. So.
Which Ronnie you film? Which Ronnie you film do you guys prefer? Freddy vs. Jason or Bride of Chucky? That's a hard one.
Freddy vs. Jason for me.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. That's a tough one.
I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, it was all right. Bride of Chucky.
I love it. That movie's so much fun. I like Ronnie Yu's style. He should have made more horror movies from the big.
But I'm not a big Chucky guy, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
I love this movie. I don't care what people say, you know.
Me too.
You know?
I'll always love it.
I always have a great time watching it.
Me too. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I suppose you have to talk about the remake. He's sighing.
Friday 13th, 2009, the remake. It pretends all the other movies don't exist. They never happened. So I'll pretend it doesn't exist.
Nice.
A killer for a remake, I didn't mind it because I knew that everything was going to be remade at some point. So,
might as well get it over with.
But
it didn't need to be.
Eric Mears was a great Jason.
Yeah, I have to admit that. That's the one thing they did right with this movie, I think, is Jason was handled very well.
Yeah, I do like Derek Mears. I think he was a great Jason. It was kind of cool to see him as like a not a straight up zombie again. And we had the burlap sack, again, and then he gets his hockey mask. I still think this should have been a sequel. It could have been exactly the same. Just take place after Freddy vs. Jason. Get rid of that lazy, tacked on prologue with his mom at the beginning that was like 5 seconds long. Just have it be a sequel to Freddy vs. Jason. I'd have way more appreciation for it. I don't want to start from scratch. What makes Jason so interesting for me is all the things he's been through. He's been shot, he's been stabbed, he's been burned, he's been dissolved in toxic waste, he's been blown up, he's been, he's been through all this crap. And so this one just starts, completely over. That's not interesting to me.
But they do like a real quick version of the first 3 movies.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one didn't explain whether or not he drowned either. And it's like, man, really, they're doing that again? I would have rather seen more backstory. Halloween didn't need it. This one did. They got it backwards. I do like how Jason was kind of smarter and more stealthy and would set traps up. I don't like that he kidnapped somebody, even if they remind him of his mom. I don't think that's something Jason would do. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, I had some good kills. Most of the characters I thought were kind of annoying.
That's true.
But overall, I just didn't want this movie to exist. I think it didn't need to be remade. And I kind of consider it my least favorite for that reason. I know it's probably technically more well-made and more competent than, Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. But, at least those, are in the same series. Terrible continuity aside, they don't straight up pretend the others don't exist like this one does. But I thought the My Bloody Valentine remake was far better. They came out the same year. But they did do Jason pretty well overall, and it had some pretty memorable scenes. But I've watched this one the least. I've seen it maybe 3 times, and usually just when I'm in a marathon. I did see it in the theater, and I wasn't really that impressed. But I know a lot of people like it. There are some good things about it for sure, but overall, I'd consider my least favorite because it pretends the others don't exist. Why would I want to watch a movie that does that? Yes, I agree. All the characters are very annoying.
Yeah. But this is literally the only thing I like is Jason. That's it.
Yeah.
And some of the kills are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's about it.
Like when he throws the axe, that guy, when he gets right in the back.
That was awesome.
Cool.
See you later, Collector Man. Have a good night. And happy Friday 13th.
And he looked cool, and he looked pretty badass. Big hulking dude. He was intimidating.
Yeah, I did think Derek Mears was a good Jason. For sure, I think he played him very well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him play Jason again.
Yeah.
I just wish this was a sequel. Then I would just like it so much more.
True.
Has that remake stigma attached to it.
But that's the problem with the last two movies, you know?
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do from there, you know? They went so ridiculous and out there. It's
I think it should just take
place. How are you going to get them back to Earth and...
Well, I think they should just take place after Freddy vs. Jason. You know, probably just ignore Jason X, honestly, and just
right after Jason.
After Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
Somebody should edit, you know, the ending of Freddy vs. Jason at the beginning of this and take away that stupid prologue, like I said, and just make it a sequel. Make them lose the mask somehow, and they just put the burlap sack back. It doesn't have that fun 80s feel. And I feel like there's a few things that shouldn't have done. Like there's decisions they shouldn't have made. It's just like, oh man, it has that typical late 2000s feel, which I don't care for.
A lot of goofy ass humor.
Yeah.
Nice nudity though, I guess. And that's in line with the other.
Yeah. Yeah, that was consistent.
But
this was also in like the heart of the remake craze.
Yeah.
Now the remake.
There's certainly worse remakes, but
oh yeah,
I don't mind watching it.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not really a bad movie. It's just I just think it shouldn't have been made.
Yeah. What do you think, Fan 88?
Yeah. When I saw it in theaters, I was just like, it's okay. It's better than I thought it was better than Halloween. I liked it better than Rob Zombie.
Nice.
And then
1 year later, definitely. But it's not the first remake out there. I think that would probably go to The Fog or something.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's much worse remakes, but it's not a great one either.
Yeah.
There's it's got a few good moments, but like when he kills the girl when she's like hiding under the what do you call it, the pier thing. He just like stabs the machete and like pulls her head up.
Yeah, that was a cool kill.
What do you think about the way it started? It almost started like that was the movie, that first like 15 minutes, and then they just scratch everything and start.
Yeah, the first group of cast of people.
But almost wish they didn't do that. Maybe why didn't they just keep that same cast from the beginning?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I kind of liked some of them a little better. Yeah, they kind of adapted parts 1 through 4. You know, they kind of combined them all together. You know, they had Of course, Jason getting his hockey mask. Of course, his mother being the original killer. The guy looking for his sister. All that stuff. There's elements of the first
sack mask, sackhead mask.
Yeah, the sack mask. It was like a combination of.
I mean, it looked sleek and modern and all that.
Yeah.
I kind of like. You didn't like the whole underground thing where you had the little fortress underground thing?
I thought that was fine.
But I mean, if they never make another one, I don't know if this would be a great way to leave it off.
Yeah, I agree.
They could have left it off with a better one than this.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, this has always been my favorite horror franchise. I love these movies for what they are, even the bad ones. I still have a good time with them.
So it is your favorite?
Yeah, because it's the most consistent, I think. Because like I said, it doesn't have an entry that I downright hate. I think Michael Myers and Halloween, is better, but that has a few entries that I really despise. But love Friday the 13th and Jason.
Me too.
Oh yeah,
I love the franchise.
Definitely.
We probably should get started talking about Sabbath.
Yeah, I'll be right back. So.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get started as soon as I get back. You guys yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about some Sabbaths. They sold their soul for rock and roll.
Yeah. Great name based on the old horror flick there.
The Mario Bava in 1963 anthology with Boris Karloff. This is the first Italian horror movie I ever saw. That's where they got their name. Really freaking cool.
So, what was the first Black Sabbath song you ever heard?
Probably Paranoid. On the radio, I heard on the radio, like classic rock radio. That's probably the most played. Like that and Iron Man have got to be the most played Sabbath songs, right?
Yeah. It's a good one.
Oh, no doubt.
First one I ever heard was Heaven and Hell with the deal. So,
really? Wow. Nice. I think it's kind of ridiculous that I know we were talking about the Hall of Fame earlier, that Metallica got inducted before them. Isn't that right? Like, how does that make sense? In what world does that make sense? There would not be Metallica or any of these bands if it was not for Black Sabbath.
very
Should be the first.
I feel like
What's that?
I said I feel like Ozzy has always been my family somehow. Listening to him, so
It's like your brother or something, your cousin. Yeah, it's certainly a big part of my life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Black Sabbath is where it all started.
Indeed. I remember, I remember I was listening to it a lot when I was in college in the early '90s, or whatever. And some people were like, "What are you still listening to, like Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath and stuff? Who cares?" I'm like, what? You don't know shit, dude. Because in the '90s you had Pantera and stuff like that. All the grunge stuff was going on. Yeah.
Can't read the class.
And of course, you had the death metal stuff coming out, at that time.
Yeah.
Morbid Angel and all that stuff. I'm so pissed.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm so pissed Carcass is coming around next week, and I just don't have the time to take off. I'm like, damn, I want to see them so bad.
That would be cool. I feel like they put on a great show.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, seeing them on YouTube and stuff, I watched a lot of their concerts.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days, I'll see him.
I would love to.
I have seen Black Sabbath. Have you?
Oh, did you?
You never saw Sabbath?
No, unfortunately not.
At Ozfest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
A couple times they were on it. That was when they first came back, really, with Ozzy and all that.
Oh,
yeah. All right. Is ready to talk about some Sabbath?
Yeah.
My favorite band of all time, the godfathers of heavy metal, the inventors of heavy metal.
Yeah.
Would not exist without them. For those just tuning in, we're just going to talk about the Ozzy era, the first 8 albums. Maybe in a future video, we'll talk about the other lineups. I would love to talk about Dio because, of course, he's the metal god.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, we're just going to talk about the albums fronted by the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, they sold their soul for rock and roll.
Nice. Cassette tape. Look at that.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Nice. Is that an original or is that like one of those new?
It's an original. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, when I first, I bought. I got this years ago. When I was first getting into them. I had some of their stuff on cassettes. I didn't even have a CD player yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so. All right, we have the self-titled eponymous debut, the one that started it all.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath, the first album featuring vocalist Ozzy Osbourne, guitarist Tony Iommi, bassist Geezer Butler, and drummer Bill Ward. Yeah, formerly called Earth. They were inspired by people paying money to see horror movies and getting scared, and came up with the name Black Sabbath from like where it established the Mario Bava 1963 anthology with Boris Karloff. So really, heavy metal was kind of created like as a response to horror films, like in music format. So I've always considered horror and metal to kind of go together.
Perfect, right?
Yeah, because that's pretty much what it was. It was it was a horror movie, but like like the music. Off to a really good start. It's a really good album. It's a lot more bluesy than their later ones. It wasn't really like a straight up metal album. There's a lot more rock and roll. We even had Ozzy playing the harmonica on the song "The Wizard." But yeah, it's a really good, really good album. Yeah, Ozzy, his vocals. I feel like he hadn't really found his voice yet. It kind of sounded like he was still learning to sing. But he definitely had a much more like kind of a gravely kind of bluesy voice on this album. But yeah, of course we have the song Black Sabbath, which is the first song they ever wrote. Of course, has the Devil's Tritone. And of course, the Wizard. Yes, awesome song. Then of course,
that's just
the
a
Wizard.
Game changer right there.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, the Wizard, which I've heard different things. I heard it was written about their drug dealer at the time, and also heard it was written about Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings books. Who knows? Then you got Behind the Wall of Sleep, N.I.B. It's another great song. Wicked World, Sleeping Village, A Warning, and my vinyl copy has the song Evil Woman, which is a cover, which is a really good song, but it doesn't have Wicked World, where my CD version has Wicked World. So, luckily I got the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Be all to a great start. It's not really my favorite Black Sabbath
cover there. Very
it is.
optic.
Yeah, and a lot of people thought this was Ozzy, but it was actually a female model that they found and had and photographed. I actually think the picture might have already existed. I don't even think that they had any involvement in the album cover. Yeah, Ozzy didn't even look like that back then. That looked more like he looked later. He actually reportedly had really short hair during the recording of this album too. Yeah, Tony Iommi's my favorite guitarist, and his riffs are always just amazing. And this album is no exception. They sound just as magnificent here as they would on later records.
I mean, nobody was doing stuff like that. I mean, like the song Black Sabbath, he's talking about Satan.
Yeah, talking about Satan and stuff. Yeah, that'd never been done before. So, they were very, very innovative. They're the first of their kind.
But yeah, they started out as like a blues band. That's probably what the first album sounds like, kind of bluesy.
Right.
Like they weren't originally set out to be like metal or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't know what metal was back then. Big K's leaving.
Peace out.
See you later, Big K. Thanks for stopping by. And yes, I probably will play the new Evil Dead game at some point. Looks pretty cool.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah, lost horror fan.
I always have some kind of issue every time I do these things.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Indeed.
But yeah, initial thoughts about Sabbath and how they shaped metal. What do you think?
Yes, exactly.
And those huge riffs that Tony Iommi came up with. It's like
yes,
mind blowing.
Yeah, he's the riff master for sure. I can't even come with those awesomely creative riffs in my head, let alone try to pick them out on my guitar. I don't know how he came up with all that. It's killer.
And Ozzy has such a unique voice, it's like
Yeah,
really stands out. I've never heard anything like it before him,
Yes.
That
Yeah, so
weird,
distinctive.
like off kind of like scream that
Yeah, very distinctive. Yeah, nobody sounds like Ozzy. Very unique, like you said. I think his eerie vocals really fit Sabbath perfectly. Of course, Tony Iommi's highly creative, intricate riffs and solos, and of course, Geezer Butler's bass playing kind of providing the backbone, and his lyrics as well. Geezer Butler wrote all the lyrics, and he's my favorite lyricist. He came with really awesome stories, and he penned them all. And, he's quite a poet. And of course,
Harfany messaged us. Sorry, guys, having connection issues. Trying to get it fixed. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you have to give them all credit, really. I mean, but yeah, probably mostly Tony Iommi.
Oh yeah, in my opinion, he is Black Sabbath. Really,
that
it comes
guitar
down to it. Yeah,
is what created the metal sound.
Yeah, wicked.
Chugging
and the
like
fact that and the fact that he lost 2 of his fingertips and still didn't give up and made fake fingertips, which is amazing. And then he had to down tune his guitar and made their music even more gloomy. So it's almost like a perfect
even
storm.
adds to it.
Yeah, it was like a perfect storm. Like heavy metal was almost invented by accident.
Almost like an accident, yeah.
Yeah, so cool.
I watched something where he told that story about how he cut his fingertips off on the job and like one of the machines.
Yeah. Like, he wasn't even supposed to be there that day, and he was like covering somebody else's shift or something. So, and I read his autobiography, and he really went into detail about how he did it. And it's still amazing how he did all that.
Thank God he didn't give up,
Yeah, really.
Might never have heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you guys hear me now? All good?
Yep.
Okay, good. But this is a great debut album. The song NIB is one of my favorites. It has one of my favorite guitar solos that I think is haunting in a way. The dun 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 dun. I think that's great. You might have already talked about this, but from what I understand, they recorded this in like 12 hours, and it was just done by them. But we can thank these metal legends right there.
Oh yeah,
love those guys. I like that bass intro at the beginning of NIB too. Little bass solo. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw them in concert back in 2013, and they put on a hell of a show. I lost it when they played Under the Sun. I wasn't expecting them to play that. I really wish Bill Ward could have been with them. I guess it was either Brad Wilk or Tommy Clefidis that played drums. But
when I saw him, it was Mike Borden, Faith No More.
Oh, cool! Yeah,
but it was at Ozfest, like when they first kind of got back together.
Oh yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, off to a great start. Great debut album. You guys have anything you want to add before we get to their sophomore effort?
Pretty much the birth of heavy metal right here. It's iconic everywhere.
Oh yeah. Tony Iommi almost left to join Jethro Tull also.
Oh my god.
Yeah, thank goodness that didn't happen.
Be dead on arrival.
Yeah. Then of course we have Paranoid, which is almost everybody's favorite. This is almost like a greatest hits record.
I know,
really, all their big hits on it. Yeah. Of course, it's got Iron Man and the song Paranoid and War Pigs. All their big hits. Personally, I'm kind of tired of Iron Man and Paranoid. I've just heard them just a little too much. But I do still like War Pigs.
It Every song on here is a classic, though.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Morbid, Electric Funeral, which I love. I love that doomy ass riff.
Very doomy.
I
think that song invented doom metal.
Yeah, that's sick.
Hand of Doom. Yeah. War Pigs, great song. Great lyrics about about war and stuff. And of course the title track, Paranoid, very iconic. Planet Caravan, which I think is one of the most trippy, most psychedelic songs I've ever heard. It's just very haunting. I love it. And of course, Iron Man, the iconic riff that everybody knows. Yeah, Electric Funeral, like I said. Hand of Doom, which I think is a very underrated song that doesn't get talked about very much. Rat Salad's a pretty good instrumental. And of course, Fairies Wear Boots.
Another classic.
Yeah, it's a really, really fun track.
Yeah.
That's made the same year. They came out the same year, 1970.
Yes, right. And yet they sounded so different.
Yeah.
It's a little more polished.
I really like it. Yeah. It's not my personal favorite album, but it's definitely in the top. Like you said, it's pretty much a greatest hits. But I think, my personal favorite next one. But Paranoid still.
Paranoid's still great. It's definitely up there. But I do like the next one better, which we'll get to. But yeah, love these guys. Yeah, Paranoid's a great album.
Probably the one that really put them on the map.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's great.
As Sean said, the song Electric Funeral, first time I heard that, I went, ooh, just a dong, dong, one. I was like, yeah.
I don't know how he came up with all those awesome riffs.
It sounds like it's underwater or something. Like,
yeah.
Really.
Has that feeling of like that foreboding feeling of dread. It just is perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool. The next, my favorite album of the Ozzy era, Master of Reality. Love this album.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it has a lot of my favorite songs on it. It's so good. Yeah, of course we have Sweet Leaf, which is of course about marijuana with Tony Iommi's iconic cough at the beginning. After Forever, which I think is a really underrated song, doesn't get talked about very much. It's a really, really awesome song.
Oh, great song.
Yeah, Embryo, pretty cool short instrumental. Children of the Grave, which was probably their heaviest song up to this point. Really cool. Yeah, Orchid, Lord of this World. And my favorite song of the album, Solitude, which is a very haunting, very woeful, very beautiful, very emotive track, which has Ozzy's soft, really woeful vocals. Yeah, I wish he would have sung like that more because that was really, really cool. Yeah, the song gives me chills. And of course, Into the Void.
Doesn't it super heavy?
Yeah. I love this album so much. Just a masterpiece. Pardon the pun.
Also created stoner metal, right?
Yeah.
Stoner metal, doom metal, whatever.
Yes, absolutely. All metal.
But oh man, Children of the Grave, the build up in that song, and then the
love that heavy riff. It gets me pumped every time.
Oh yeah.
Solitude. I like to put headphones on and just kind of just sit there and close my eyes and listen to it. It's such a peaceful song.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's funny how they could do that, like make sound so melodic and like
so diverse. Yeah, so much versatility. Really, very moving.
And at times, Ozzy's voice could be very soft and like
he could really, really sing, when he wanted to.
I think his best vocals are Sabbath, in my opinion.
Yeah. What's that?
I think his best vocal work is the original.
Oh
Sabbath.
Yeah, I think so too. I like his solo stuff too, but yeah, I like his stuff in Sabbath way better. Black Sabbath.
So this is all our favorite, huh?
Oh, it's your favorite too? Good.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah, most people like Paranoid the best, but I like this one.
Yeah.
For years, I always had two that were battling each other. It was Master of Reality, but at the same time, Heaven and Hell, because those two were like that. But I gave it to Master. It's just so classic. And
yeah, it's a close one. Yeah, Master's my favorite of the Ozzy era. Yeah, when you throw a Dio, the Dio albums in the mix too. Yeah, it's really hard. I don't know. It's almost like a tie. But we'll get to that in a future video.
But this one kind of had some of the heaviest stuff, and then some of the most melodic stuff too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And just chilling, it is something good to listen to if you're getting stoned too. I did many times.
Nice.
Bam, spark it up. Like,
light it up. Yeah, Planet Caravan would be a good song to listen to.
Oh yeah.
Stoned. All right, anything else you guys want to add about Master Reality?
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece, yes.
Yeah. Very much so. Perfect album front to back. All killer, no filler.
For sure. 5 stars.
Indeed. So next we have Volume 4, their 4th album. This is probably my least favorite of their first 6. Not that it's a bad album or anything. I just think the others are a little better. But it does have one of my favorite Sabbath songs of all time. That's Under the Sun. I freaking love that album. Like I said, when they played live and they played that, I got so pumped. I was lost. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're actually playing that.
Nice.
Yeah, I was psyched. But yeah, other great songs. Yeah, Wheels of Confusion is a really, really good song. Tomorrow's Dream. I've never really been a big fan of Changes. I really don't like when Ozzy and his daughter Kelly Osbourne sing as a duet. And it's okay. It's not a bad song. Just not really my cup of tea.
Very poppy, yeah.
Yeah, a little too much. Then Effects. Supernaut's another great song.
Yeah.
Of course, Snowblind, which is probably the most iconic, most well-known song from this album. It's originally going to be titled Snowblind too, but since it was about cocaine, they had to change the title. Looking at Sunrise is a good song. I love Saint Vitus Dance. That song is awesome. This is my favorite Ozzy vocals too. And like I said, Under the Sun, the last track on the album is just friggin' awesome. One of the best Sabbath songs ever, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I like it better than Iron Man.
Snowblind always gets me like pumped.
Yeah, Snowblind's great.
One time I was out shoveling snow and I had Snowblind blaring on me. I was like,
yeah, I used to
perfect.
Yeah, in the winter time when there's like snow in the ground, I used to walk through the woods, like, you know, the trees are covered in snow and ice, and I would listen to that while I was walking. Either that or like black metal, like Emperor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snowblind's a good song to listen to in the winter.
Absolutely.
How do you like this one, Hard Fan?
Out of the first 6, this was the one that I listened to the least, probably, but I still really enjoyed. Wheels of Confusion, stuff like that. I really liked Snowblind. Yeah, as you said, Changes. I thought it was a good song, but I guess it just never really stuck out to me as much as some other ones. But still, overall, it's still a part of their classic discography, and I really enjoy it. But Master of Reality is still the top for me.
Absolutely. Great album.
Indeed.
I love the album cover for this next album, though.
Yeah,
me
too. It's awesome.
Love it.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
It's like 666. Cool. I love the flip
side. Nightmarish. Yeah. Very surreal and nightmarish. Really cool stuff. Yeah, Black Sabbath is a great album. I think this might have been Ozzy's best vocal performance. Like he really belted it out in this album, especially in the title track.
Definitely.
We have the song Black Sabbath. A National Acrobat is a great song. Fluff. Sabracadabra is probably my favorite song on the album. I do wish that they'd live. Yes, Killing Yourself to Live. It's a great song. Who Are You, which is one of the few Sabbath songs where Ozzy wrote the lyrics. Looking for Today and Spiral Architect. Yeah, great album. I like pretty much all the songs on it. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I think it's just really killer.
Me too.
And like I said, Ozzy really sang very well on this and has some of my favorite Tony Iommi riffs and solos as well. For sure.
I like some of the stuff they did that was kind of out there, like Spiral Architect.
Yeah, it's a little experimental.
Kind of weird, but I enjoy
it. They used started using the synthesizer a lot more, and
yes, that's true.
Kind of experimented a little, which I thought was cool.
But it worked,
beautifully.
I could be mixing this up, but is this the album where they like rented a castle or something and
they writing? Did,
yeah. I believe so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Ozzy and Tony Iommi both wrote about that in their autobiographies. Yeah, I guess they saw or heard some crazy stuff, but they were probably just tripping. They're probably stoned out of their minds.
It had to be. There's definitely there's definitely some moments on there. You're like, wow, this is out there.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Absolutely.
Definitely one of my favorite songs is National Acrobat. I love that freaking riff.
I like how Metallica covered that and Sabracadabra. Like it's part of the same song. That was cool.
Yeah,
they did a good job.
Cool. Like you said, his vocals are what is the best part, bro. Like Ozzy killed it on this album.
Yeah, he did a great job on this one.
Yep.
Sabbath, bloody Sabbath. It goes like right through your brain, like
yeah.
It's probably Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Sabracadabra are probably my top 2 songs on here. I just love replaying those.
Yeah, they're great.
Absolutely.
Killing Yourself to Live is really, really awesome too. Ozzy would really mess the lyrics up though when they played that live. But he was probably stoned.
Probably.
There was quite a lot of drug use going on.
Yeah.
Badass opening though.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I feel like the next one, Sabotage, has one of my favorite Black Sabbath songs ever.
Mine too.
Symptom of the Universe. That's the opening. Oh,
that's one of the heaviest songs, if not the heaviest they ever did from the Ozzy era.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. This is probably my second favorite Ozzy Sabbath out next to Master Reality. It's a close between this and Paranoid. Here's the way it starts out. Yeah, we got Hole in the Sky. Awesome song.
Yeah, awesome.
I love Hole in the Sky. My band actually does a cover of that. Very fun to play. Yeah, great song. The Symptom of the Universe. Yeah, like I said, probably one of the heaviest songs they have. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of my favorite Iommi riffs. Some of my favorite Bill Ward drum beats too, for sure, on this album. I just Megalomania, which is I think is a really underrated song. It's very long. It has several different sections, which are all very diverse. They really mixed it up nicely.
Like, Am I Going Insane?
Yeah,
that's really
yeah, Thrill of It All, Superstar, and The Writ, which is a really creepy song. Yeah, great album. I absolutely love Sabotage, especially the first 4 tracks. Really, really, really awesome. This is their last great album with Ozzy fronting the band. So sorry to say.
Sadly.
Yeah.
I just want to say about Symptom of the Universe is that you could hear little inklings of what would become thrash metal with that. And then the way I'm like, oh, that is fantastic.
Oh yeah, love it. Oh, Integrity 101 is in the chat. I agree. Bill Ward doesn't get enough credit, and I do wish that he was on 13 for sure. And I really wish he was with him when I saw him live because it was kind of incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a shame.
Yeah,
that they didn't end the career with him.
Yeah, I know.
Sucks.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty underrated drummer.
What happened? I mean, did they have a falling out? Or?
Well, for one thing, he always had bad stage fright, and he always had bad problems with alcohol. And I don't know. I guess he just couldn't do it anymore. I guess it was just too. I don't know. It was too hard touring and stuff. It was a little too hard on him. But it's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
At least he did come back like in the 90s with him or whatever.
Yeah, he came back on most of the reunions.
Part of it anyway, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, terrific album.
Yes, it is.
Love me some Sabotage.
But there's one negative I'd have to say is the cover is a little bit cheesy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because they're standing in front of a mirror, and then the reflections are facing the same way. Shouldn't it be the back of them? Shouldn't this be what's in the mirror? I mean, maybe it's supposed to be that way. Maybe it's that. Maybe that's the art of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I know this is a band that's been around for 50 years at this point, and it just strikes me how many. I know we'll get to them in the future, but different sounds they've had over time. If this was 15 years ago and someone showed me Headless Cross, I like it, but I would have never thought that was Black Sabbath at all.
Yeah, they have gone through a lot of changes. Yeah, they've had several different styles, very diverse. Dr. Guts is in the chat.
Even Dio version is different,
Yeah, oh yeah, much different. Still great though in a different way.
A different style.
Dr. Guts, you heard of Black Sabbath? Yeah, me too. I know him in real life. He lives in my town. We used to jam together. He's a phenomenal guitarist and a huge metalhead. Oh, and we did shows here on YouTube together. Into the Pit.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Talking about metal and stuff.
Cool.
I always enjoyed those episodes.
I probably saw them. I think I did see some of those.
Yeah, we should do another one of those. That was fun.
When you just were talking about metal, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was all metal related.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. I like the one episode where I think y'all were doing this or that, choose between two bands. That was a fun one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really made you think a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, let's do it. Hell yeah.
Just have them come on sometime.
I'm down. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be killer. All right, so let's get to Technical Ecstasy. I don't have a whole lot to say. I don't even have this one on vinyl, so not only is this probably my least favorite of the Ozzy era, this is probably my least favorite Black Sabbath album.
Ever?
Ever, yeah. And all the lineups. It's not downright terrible. I don't think they really have a Saint Anger or a Super Collider. It has its moments. It was a lot different. It wasn't really, I don't know, it was very experimental. I'm all for a band, trying new things and, trying to update their sound and trying to keep things fresh. I understand that it gets old doing the same thing over and over. I understand that. I completely do. But it was a little too, I don't know, a little too different. I do like the song It's All Right. It sounds like a Beatles song, and it's actually Bill Ward, the drummer, singing. He's the lead vocalist on that song. I thought that was interesting. I don't know. I guess Ozzy didn't want to sing it. Who knows? But I think Gypsy's a pretty good song. I like All Moving Parts Stand Still and Rock and Roll Doctor and even Dirty Women, Then there's the other songs, Backstreet Kids, You Won't Change Me, She's Gone. Again, it's not, it's not terrible. It's just kind of forgettable. I don't know. It's just a huge step down. If another band had made, if another band had made this album, I might be more forgiving towards it. But like, I hold Black Sabbath to a pretty high standard, and I can tell that they could do way better than this.
You go from Sabotage to this.
Yeah, it's a huge step down.
Deep, steep drop there.
I agree. I'll take Never Say Die over Technical Ecstasy, but yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. I did think that was a slight improvement, but
at least I know that I'm not the only one, because I thought I was going to have some controversial opinion where these last two didn't fully stick out to me, and I was like, okay. I like the song "Dirty Women" and Backstreet Kids. They're cool.
They're not bad songs. I think it's just more like okay. Yeah, it's just Sabbath can do way better, and it didn't really sound like Sabbath to me.
It's just not them, yeah.
Yeah, just. But again, there's worse things you could listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree. Yeah,
and their relations with Ozzy were getting rough.
He actually left after this one, and they briefly replaced him with Ray Gillen, not to be confused with Ian Gillen. Or no, I'm sorry, that was later. I'm sorry, no, it was Dave Walker from Fleetwood Mac, I guess. But he came back and yeah.
Usually when we do these, like, I'll write down like some of my favorite songs and everything. At the end of this one, I just put
yeah.
It's like sad though,
Pretty much sums it up. Yeah, I agree. After Sabotage, they kind of sucked till Dio. I totally agree with that. Dio breathed new life into the band. I think that was definitely the right thing to do for everybody. And then Ozzy had his successful solo career.
But it's funny, but like he went on and had great music by himself. Like,
yeah, it's the best thing for everybody. And
then
we
can
the
they
awesome
come up with
Dio
something
albums.
good with Sabbath?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're just doing the first 8, Dr. Guts. Yeah, we're just doing. So just gonna be doing one more album. And then maybe later maybe in a future video we'll talk about like the Dio albums and some of the other lineups. But yeah, I agree with Integrity. I think that I did think that Never Say Die. What the hell is up with these covers too? By the way, like, was it 2 robots on an escalator shooting lasers at each other? Whatever. But yeah, I thought this was a slight step up from Technical Ecstasy. I thought it was a little better, mostly because of the song "Swinging the Chain," which is another song where Bill Ward sings the lead. I think it's a really cool rockin' tune. Yeah, this isn't really a metal album. It's more like rock and roll.
Like rockin'.
Yeah, I kind of like the title track too. Never Say Die. That's a pretty cool music video too. And Never Say Die is a good song. Johnny Blade's okay. Junior's Eyes is another song that I think Ozzy Osbourne wrote himself. Yeah, usually Geezer wrote the lyrics, but I think that was one of the rare exceptions where Ozzy actually penned the lyrics. A Hard Road's a pretty good song, and it features backing vocals by all the members, which was kind of cool. Shockwave, Air Dance, Over to You, Breakout. But yeah, Swinging the Chain. Yeah, the highlight of both of these albums were a song that Bill Ward sang. So I think they were just kind of becoming passe. They were just kind of running out of steam. It was a slight improvement over Technical Ecstasy, but most of all, it's just still not really my thing.
Reading like Ozzy's book and stuff, I guess he was getting really, really drunk, all like serious alcohol problems at that time.
He was becoming unreliable. But all of them had a
unreliable, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Guts, is your favorite one Heaven and Hell? That's a great one. Yeah, we'll definitely cover that in a future video. I'd love to talk about some Dio Sabbath. But yeah, this video is already over 3 hours long. So
yeah.
We talked about the rest of the albums. It would be going all night.
I know, right? Be doing it till tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I still want to get one more Friday 13th in there tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Watch another one.
Oh, part 2 is on right now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the part where what's his name's hanging after he the skinny dipping girl Tara after he steals her clothes and then she gets caught in that trap. I guess Jason set that trap. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to cover the Tony Martin era. Criminally underrated. Tony Martin was a amazing vocalist. His albums are sick.
Believe it or not,
Love
I've never listened to them.
You got to check them out because they're freaking phenomenal. I highly recommend
it's
Tony
sad.
Martin. Yeah, it's really, really good stuff.
But I haven't heard all the Sabbath albums, just up to like Dio.
Hell yeah. Yeah, definitely check out, the Ian Gillan, Born Again, and Glenn Hughes. Yeah, they were both only on one album, and then especially the Tony Martin era.
One album I always thought was super underrated.
Oh, that's cool.
With Dio, I think was Dehumanizer.
It is.
Oh yeah, the 90s
great album. 1992. Yeah, it's a great album.
TV Crimes. I remember the video when that came out.
Yeah, me too. Computer God is a great song.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add about Never Say Die? The final Ozzy album before he left, it was replaced by Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah.
Nah. That sums it up.
A fall from grace, sadly.
Yeah. They sold their soul to rock and roll. We'll still have the first 6, Yeah, there's some great, some good live albums of Ozzy on it. There's just Past Lives. Has a really cool live version of Killing Yourself to Live. And I like about the CD is it comes with a little Black Sabbath guitar pick.
Nice.
Yeah.
That must be a pretty rare edition.
Yeah.
I don't
want to use it though. I don't want to use it because I don't want to get all worn down,
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good live album. Disc 1. One of the discs is Live at Last, and the other one is one of the bootlegs or something. But yeah, it's a good track listing. And then Reunion, which they did in 1998, was which obviously one of the reunion tours is really good too. I really like when the audience would get involved and sing with them. Yeah, some great live albums, and of course, if you don't want to buy all the albums, you can just get this. It has some of their hits on it.
Not a bad compilation.
Yeah.
This one's probably.
Oh yeah, there you go. They got some pretty cool DVDs too, with the Ozzy era.
Oh, I have that one.
Yeah, Black Sabbath, the Ozzy Osbourne years, and then Never Say Die.
The Last Supper, yeah.
Yeah, and then this is during the reunion tour. This is pretty much a companion piece with Reunion. But then the only other studio album that they did with Ozzy was 13, which came out in, of course, 2013. I guess that's why they titled it that, because it wasn't their 13th album with Ozzy. It certainly wasn't their 13th album as a band. So I guess just because of the year, it was decent. I thought that the reunion album with Dio, Devil You Know, which they did under the moniker Heaven and Hell, was far better. But this was decent. I liked it. Yeah, I really like that song Loner. It was really good. They played a lot of these songs when I saw them live. It was a good album. I liked it. It just, it wasn't, I think they could do better, I think it was Brad Wilk or Tommy Clefidis that played drums. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was Brad Wilk from Rage Against the Machine. I really wish Bill Ward could have done it, but whatever. It was decent,
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest way to go out.
No. It's probably better than Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die, though. Quite possibly, but yeah, it's,
Integrity 101. Yes, I need to do my homework on before we do the second half of.
Yeah, I think it's very underrated. I really like Vinny Appice too, who played on most of the Dio albums. He's a great drummer.
Great drummer, yeah.
Yeah. And Cozy Powell's a good drummer too. Yeah, definitely check out the Tony Martin albums. You'll be glad you did. It's great stuff.
I will.
Yeah, really, really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I know Heaven and Hell well, but I don't know the Mob Rules that well. I gotta go back and listen to that.
Oh yeah, you gotta listen to that a lot too. Especially that song Voodoo. That's a kick-ass song. That's my favorite song from the Dio era. Yeah, I agree with that about 13.
They ripped off themselves.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's just, they can do better.
But they're old now,
Yeah.
You can't expect them to come out with a insane, awesome album when they're
I
like.
think Devil You Know was better. Oh yeah, Mob Rules is great. I love Mob Rules. It's a close. I can't decide between Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. It's a tough one. They're both awesome. But yeah, they've always been a favorite band for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Love me some Sabbath, the Godfathers of heavy metal.
Absolutely phenomenal band.
Yes, indeed.
I owe a lot to them, like
yes,
I wouldn't get through life if it wasn't for what they stand for, what they created, and their music personally too.
Definitely. Irish Knights in the chat. Yo.
What's up? You're a little late.
What's up, Irish Knight? How's it going, brother?
Nice. Dr. Guts loves Heaven and Hell the best, huh?
It's a phenomenal album. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, it's a great song for sure.
Yep.
Like you said, it revitalized them.
Oh yeah, it was the right thing to do for sure. I really wish. Dio was like my idol. I really, really sucks that he died.
Yeah. Still amazing album, but sing me a song. You're a singer. Do me a wrong.
Bring her a evil.
Yeah, great job, guys.
Likewise. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here in the Morbid Hour. I'm Hellhound.
Or Fan 88.
Sean Erschen.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Another great stream. I think we covered all the bases quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Look forward to the next one.
Oh yeah,
most definitely. Yeah, we'll have to start thinking of some ideas for it.
Definitely.
What other bands we'll talk about?
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
I still want to do Queensryche.
Yes, absolutely.
At some point.
Killer. What Friday the 13th movie should he watch?
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part 6, Jason Lives.
Yeah. Also,
that's my favorite.
Also, sorry for the little technical difficulties I had earlier. Connection screwing up.
Technical ecstasy.
I did too. I got kicked off at one point.
It happens.
Something always happens.
Yeah.
Can't break tradition.
I never get through a stream without fail,
It happens.
All right, guys, have a great night and enjoy your weekend and
You too.
The rest of your Friday 13th.
You too, man.
Peace.
Later.